lock Ryan Couchman. Second row is Hamish Stewart and Dylan Egan. Front row is Toby Couchman and Loco Junior Pacifica Tonga. Hooker Damien Cook in a bench of Jacob Little, Emre Gula, Josh Kerr, Luciano Leilua, Jacob Halangahu and Lycan King Tonga, the coach Dean Young. And the Dragons in their pretty much Illawarra Steelers tribute outfit head to the northern end of Canberra Stadium to our left. And the Canberra Raiders will come out shortly. We're going to have the horn blown. And now the Viking clap. Introduction.
That's so good.
To the team running onto the field. St George Illawarra to kick off, defending the northern end of Canberra Stadium. It gets the whole crowd involved and just brings a smile to everyone's face. Crowd of about 11 or 12,000. Canberra to get first use of the footy here for NRL Sunday. Let's go. Big Gutherson to get us underway. Referees out there. There's Big Nemcha Klaaser Adamski with his touch judges Phil Henderson and Clayton Will. Adam G's in the bunker. And the kick-off heads down to the in-goal area, and Canberra returns the footy through Corey Horsburgh. The fullback for them, Kaio Wicks. The wingers, Savelio Tamale and Xavier Savage. Centres are Simi Sasangi. Great to see him back, and Matt Timokor. 5'8" Ethan Strange. Halfback Ethan Sanders. Lock Jaden Brayley. Second row is Zach Hosking and Hudson Young. Front row is Joe Tarpany, the captain, and Corey Horsburgh. Owen Paddy, the hooker, as Canberra works it about 12 metres short of halfway. And that run from Hudson Young. The lock Jaden Brayley, and the bench Tom Starling, Adam Mariotta, Morgan Smithy, Sebastian Crisp, Chevy Stewart and Jake Clydesdale. The coach Ricky Stewart. Canberra 8 short of halfway on the last. Owen Paddy goes left. Ethan Sanders with a left foot midfield bomb straight down the throat of Gutherson on the Dragons' 20-metre line. He dummies, returns it himself, and he's caught 26 metres out from his own goal line. The Dragons, fullback Clint Gutherson, wingers Setu Tu and Tyrell Sloan, centres Matt Feingay and Val Holmes, 5'8" Dan Atkinson. I've already run through that team, haven't I? With the bench, Jacob Little, Emre Gula, Josh Kerr, Luciano Leilua, Jacob Halangahu and Lycan King Tonga, coach Dean Young. And the Dragons are 11 metres short of halfway. 20 metres in from the eastern touchline as it comes open side right here to the front rower for the Dragons, King Tonga, not King Tonga, Pacifica Tonga. He's caught on halfway. Plays the ball. Cook goes left to Flanagan. He then got a short pass on to Egan, who's caught 9 metres in Canberra territory as they work the ball back towards centre field. St George Illawarra, no score on the board. They're 34 metres out from the line. It's played to Cook. Goes to the right, Atkinson, away to Gutherson. And then he links up with supporters. The Dragons head up over the 30. 28 metres out from the goal line is where the tackle's made on Feingay. Now it comes to the left. Dylan Egan got the pass away. Atkinson to Flanagan. Centre field Pacifica Tonga. He's scored 22 metres out from the goal line. Last place St George Illawarra. It comes to the right, and here's the crossfield kick from Atkinson. Down to the wing of Setu Tu. Up he goes. Ball loose on the ground. Dylan Egan flying through for the Dragons. Has he got it down or did he knock it on? Referee Klaaser Adamski goes to the bunker.
No try on the basis of the contest. Confirm he doesn't bobble it as well on the grounding.
Yeah, there was a double knock on there. Good call. But Setu Tu gets up.
Is onside.
It's all fine here, but I think he does come up and knock on right off the start. But here he is here, going up and out of his hands, goes forward.
It was Setu Tu against
just looking to determine who gets the first touch here.
Well, you can see who touches it. That's the part I don't understand. Your very first thing you can see, touch his hand. Why do you have to say determine to see who touches it?
To
So knock on off set 2 on the last tackle. We have a decision.
Last tackle changeover.
You should be President, El Presidente, NRL boss, and in charge of the bunker whilst commentator.
I like it.
All right, so change over to Canberra. We've had 2 minutes, 13 seconds gone, no score, and the Raiders get the ball. But I tell you what, that was a very good set for the Dragons, even with the assistance that they had there along the way. Now just outside their 10, Timokor plays the ball. Owen Paddy sends it open side right, and Tamale's caught. 19 now from his own goal line. The former Dragon plays the ball now to Paddy centre field. Goes right to Joe Tarpany. He's up over the 20, wrapped up 24 out from his own line. Lights already on here at Canberra Stadium. Good tackle there from Ryan Couchman. Now right edge to Hosking. He's caught 33 out from his own line. Raiders the chant here. Ball played to Paddy. He goes left to Corey Horsburgh. Got away from his own player. Then throws a reckless pass out the back. Scooped up by Strange. He sends it away left this time for Matt Timokor. He straightens. Good run, Timokor. Dragged to the ground on halfway by Egan. Also coming in there was Fienge. Now on the last, Ethan Sanders, a left foot kick, towering kick to the wing of Setu 2. He's got it. He makes the catch despite the presence of Hudson Young. 21 out from the Dragons line. Scoreless start, 3 minutes 15 gone as now the Dragons. They work at 25 out from their own line. We get early thoughts on the touchline, John Gibbs.
Yeah, well, not a bad start for both sides, and certainly plenty of feeling. Some of his tackles are hard. Kicking is going to be absolutely important here. Here's a good run up the middle now, but it's going to be important because it is slippery out there.
So now, Jonty, it's the Dragons working their way into Canberra Raiders territory by 7 metres or so. 20 in from the eastern touchline. Stewart plays the ball to Cook. Comes right Atkinson. Towering kick downfield to the wing of Tamale. Very nearly out on the full. In fact, it is. He did well, Tamale. Oh, no. The touch judges ruled that Tamale caught it and then put his foot over the touchline. Now, I don't think he's far from the mark, the touch judge. Tamale may have had a shocking error in judgment here, and as a result, it is going to be a Dragons play the ball 10 metres out from the Canberra line.
I reckon he's wrong. I reckon his foot's on the ground.
I think you might be right too, looking at the replay.
How can they not turn this around? How can they not turn that around when he's got it wrong? The ball's in the air and his foot's on the ground.
It was very...
I'm done.
No, it can't be done. We're just starting. Dragons 2 metres out. I agree with you. Look at the replay. He did have his foot down. It's now Pacifica Tonga right in centre field. He's caught 1 metre out from the Canberra goal line. Tarpany over the top. Ball played to Cook. It comes to the left. Flanagan got it away to Holmes. He stepped through one tackle, Sasangi, but now caught 5 metres out from the goal line. So early dramas here at Canberra Stadium. Flanagan sends the ball open side right. Ryan Couchman through one. He's only 2 metres away from the goal line. 5 gone, no score. Dragons on the attack. Cook sent the ball away right. A little stab kick. It ricochets out for Dylan Egan off his legs, but there was an earlier knock on, and it's called back. And so maybe justice prevails. Canberra will get the ball a few metres, 10 metres out from their own line with the scrum. 5 minutes 15 gone, no score. Touchline, John Gibbs.
Well, that saved their blushes, didn't it? Because plainly he had his foot on the ground, and you know the amazing thing, I don't think you can challenge that. Because it's the rule of the touch judge, he's put his flag up, you can't challenge it.
He should nearly walk off.
How silly is that? That could cost you a game, and you can't challenge it.
But that's one of the... Sorry, John.
No, well, it's incredible. They can look at things for 10 minutes that goes, who touched it in the goal area?
I agree.
Is Canberra with the ball savage, scored 15 out from his own line. That was the point I was going to make, to reiterate what you said, Louis. Again, for a restarting play, they rightly have a look at the bunker. That should be the bunker just saying, mate, no. It's out in the full. So here's Canberra, 34 out for their own line. I'm not going to have to get security to stop you from leaving like yesterday, am I?
No, but my blood's boiling.
Tarpany, it's left, through hands, now to Ethan Strange. Short ball, Timokor. Oh, great tackle down low, but Fienge let him go. No rule held, says referee Chiklas Radansky. So I don't think he was. That was premature. 2 metres in St George Illawarra's half. 10 in from the western touchline. Played to Strange. Goes right to Sanders. They straighten up the middle, and a great defence coming in here on Tarpany. 5 metres short of halfway. The ball played on the last. Comes right to Sanders. 2 short of halfway. Kicks it into the clouds. Down to the left wing. Taken by Sloan. 21 out from his own goal line. Heads towards centre field and knocked to the deck. 22 out from his own line. Nearly 7 minutes gone. No score, Luke Lewis.
No score at the moment. A couple of opportunities on this left edge edge for the Canberra Raiders. They're making some half breaks, and Timoko almost got up and bounced away again. It might have been hard to stop, but he got pulled back. But really just an arm wrestle to start this first 7 or 8 minutes.
So now the Dragons 12 short of halfway. Ball played to Cook. Goes left, Flanagan. He got it away to support, just short of halfway. Stewart plays the ball to Cook. Short side left again. They work it away to Gutherson. He's down the touchline. Put in a centering kick. The ball heading towards the goal line. The race is on. The Dragons are going to claim a try in the in-goal area from Sloan, but he may have dived over the bouncing ball.
On tackle 4, I have no try. Confirm there's no interference leading into the grounding.
7 minutes 24 gone of a rather stop-start affair. No score.
The on-field decision of Val onside from the kick, playing on.
The kick came from Gutherson. There were 3 or 4 Raiders out on Val Holmes making the mad dash.
They're all competing for the ball, so that's fine.
But he doesn't get it down, does he, Val?
No, he doesn't. He gets close, but he knocks it on.
Yeah. So here we go. We've got a view now from behind Holmes. Was in there.
This stage, all players were just competing for the ball. We acknowledge there is a hand on the back from Xavier, but everyone's just trying to get through to the ball. Now looking at the grounding.
Well, we know he didn't ground it.
No score. Canberra and St George Illawarra. And this is going to be a 20-metre tap for Canberra.
He touched into the leg of KO Weeks.
So they're checking a few things here.
Valentine Holmes knocks the ball on into the leg of KO Weeks. We have a decision.
So we got there eventually.
That's all clear.
So 20-metre tap for Canberra. No score. 7.5 minutes gone here at Canberra Stadium. You can update scores around the grounds as well. Jersey Flegg full time. South Sydney defeating the Roosters by 24 points to 12. And currently Claviti Silktails leading Newcastle 8-6. As now it's Canberra. Moving the ball from right to left, Horsburgh. He's going to be tackled. 11 short of halfway. Queensland Cup winner Manly 4 leading Dolphins 0. Sunshine Coast 10 leading the Western Clydesdales 0. Canberra 7 short of halfway. Ball's going to be played here by a lock forward for the Canberra Raiders, Jaden Brayley. Still getting used to him playing at lock rather than dummy half, where he spent most of his career. Tarmany tackled just inside Dragons territory. Now Sanders to the left. Got the pass away to a stepping Strange. He beat one. Reckless pass over the top. Scooped up out the back. It was touched in flight by St George Illawarra. And diving on the pill, Owen Paddy, 6 metres in Saints territory. Played to Young. Goes right to Timokor. Heavy contact by Bingham, but he dropped off him. And Matt Timokor having a great start to the game. Finally tackled right on the Luke Lewis line. 35 metres out from the Dragons goal line. And in there to greet him was Ryan Couch. But now Sanders a pass to Hosking. Went without it. Look out. It's picked up by the Dragons. They race over halfway. Tyrell Sloan. No one will get near him. Savage is trying, but no way, Jose. Tyrell Sloan races over to score. Poor pass from Canberra. Poor attempted catch from Hosking. Joe Tarpany blowing up at his teammates. And Tyrell Sloan, too quick, streaks over to score the try. 8 minutes and 50 seconds gone. St George Illawarra 4, Canberra 0 from a Raiders mistake between Sanders and Hosking.
Yeah, well, that was just too easy for Sloan. As the pass just goes astray, and then he just picks it up, and there you go. It's open field. You're not catching him when he's in open space. Sloan just too quick, and he looks like he was sort of in second gear too. So simple try there, really. Not much doing, but nice finish there from Sloan. And good work to the Dragons, hanging in there. They finally get a little bit of an opportunity. Sloan takes it with 2 hands and scores straight under the sticks.
Touchline, John Gibbs.
He's a great athlete, Sloan. He raced away there. They were never going to catch him. He's being pursued, all in vain, obviously. But that right edge then, Ethan Sanders and Zach Hosking. I think Zach Hosking thought it was going to be a cut-out pass. I think he thought he was a decoy. You've always got to be ready. It clipped him, and Tyrell Sloan was Johnny on the spot and was able to race away and score. Don't write this in because Val missed a similar one to this in Newcastle.
I'm writing it in, Jonty. Val Holmes, 11 out right in front, and yes, he's kicked the goal. So St George Illawarra score first. Dragons 6, Canberra 0. NRL Sunday here on ABC Sport. Now around the grounds, Jersey Fleet full time. South 24 beat Roosters 12. First half, Kaibiti Silktails 8 leading Newcastle 6. Queensland Cup winner Manly 6 leading the Dolphins 0. Sunshine Coast top of the table leading Western Clydesdales 10-0. Queensland Women's Rugby League full time. Sunshine Coast 22 defeated Western Clydesdales 10. North Devils lead South Logan 6-0. FIFA World Cup full time, a 3-all draw between Algeria and Austria. Each team scored a goal in stoppage time. Austria finished second in the group, Algeria third, while Argentina has completed a 3-1 win over Jordan. As now from the kick-off, it's gone out on the full.
Yep, gone out in the full there. Good work there by Atkinson. He knew exactly where he was on the field, puts his foot over and just catches the ball. And the Canberra Raiders, well, they just can't do anything right at the moment. A couple of drop balls, they're not getting their decisions right. Come up with a kick-off now going out, and the Dragons are going to kick upfield and get a full set on the Dragons line.
Well, we're seeing here, Louis, exactly why Canberra's second last. Is the Dragons finally touched 24 metres out from the Canberra Raiders goal line. Tap taken by Fiinge. Goes left, Atkinson away to Toby Couchman. He's put to the ground, 20 out for the Canberra line. St George Illawarra 6, Canberra 0, 10 minutes 40 gone. Here come the Dragons again. Centre field it is with Ryan Couchman. Got the one-hander away from Damien Cook, evaded one. Now put to the ground, only 5 metres out from the goal line. Pacifica Tonga goes into dummy half. He sends it away left to Flanagan. Long cut out pass to Val Holmes, steps in field. Simi Sasangi is there with Sanders. Held is the call as he stands in the tackle, 9 metres out. Plays the ball to Sloan. Comes open side right. And now Hamish Stewart on the burst to within 2 metres of the goal line. He'll play the ball to Cook. Spins it away right to Flanagan. Dummies inside. Goes himself, Flanagan. Put to the ground after beating one. He's half a metre out. Ended up beating 2 tackles. Caught by Kyo Weeks next to the upright. On the last Cook. Goes right Atkinson. Plays out the back along the ground. Poor pass. Fiinge couldn't handle it. Knock on. It'll be a changeover or handover to Canberra. 11 out from their own goal line. As the range on Gibbs starts to fall. 12 minutes gone. 6-0 Dragons lead.
It does indeed. So umbrellas up, but never mind. It'll warm the cockles of my heart. I'm still warm here. It's not cold. It's only about 7 and plummeting.
Plummeting, that doesn't sound too good. Here's the Raiders, 31 metres out from their own line. They are trailing 6-0. Owen Paddy sends it left to Hudson Young. And Young, who's sure to be named in that Blues team later tonight. He's tackled 7 short of halfway by Cook. Plays the ball to Paddy. Goes open side right, Tarpany. Toby Couchman is there. So too is Pacifica Tonga. He beat the first. And now Pacifica Tonga holds on with Ryan Couchman. Now they work it left to Raiders. Strange to Young. Hudson Young stands in the tackle. Now on the deck. 30 metres out from the Dragons goal line. 6-0 St George Illawarra leads. On the last, Ethan Strange on the short side left. Kicks it downfield to Gutherson. Flies through the air, lost it. It's coming down for the Dragons, but it's a knock on by Clint Gutherson. And Canberra will get a scrum feed. 10 metres out from the Dragons line. 6-0 Dragons on this bleak Canberra afternoon. We've had 13 minutes of play.
Yeah, well, I just seen watching Gutho there. He doesn't, you know what? He probably had an opportunity to contest that there. As Tamale didn't really look like he was going for the ball. Could have been an obstruction, but this is the Canberra Raiders' first opportunity in this game, really, down this end of the field to get some points on the ball.
We might have to open this window shortly because the rain is coming on it. We don't have a windscreen wiper as the Raiders win the scrum. It comes left to Timacor. Wrap around pass back to Paddy. He hands it on the inside to a stepping Hudson Young. He's going to be tackled 8 metres out from the St George Illawarra line. Owen Paddy awaits at dummy half for Canberra. The green machine have not clicked yet. He sends it back to Strange. To the right they go. Brayley turns it into Tarpany. He runs back to the right. And they're a bit of a rabble right now as he's caught 8 metres out. Paddy dummy half. He sends it away right to Horsburgh. Then to Sanders. Turns it back on the inside. Sasangi slipped as he stepped. 5 metres out right in front of the northern post. Plays the ball to Paddy. Comes to the left to Sanders. He goes on a jinking run himself into Gutherson. And Ryan Couchman caught 1 metre out from the goal line. Plays the ball now to Owen Paddy for the Raiders. He sends it to the left. No, he fell over. Then goes to the left side to Matt Timacor. Timacor across field to the right, to the left, back to the right. Caught in the middle of the park. 11 metres out. Last tackle Canberra. 6-0 the Dragons lead. Straight to Paddy. Comes to the left. Sanders to Strange. Strange put the fend on away from Fiinge. Still the last. Step away from Egan. Accelerates. Strange. to Krasnodemski, points to the spot. The horn sounds and Ethan Strange, magnificent. My only question mark, was there an early obstruction? Because it looked like he was about to slow down behind his own player. But then he beat about 3 of them. Incredible deception and strength from Ethan Strange. 15 minutes gone. St George Illawarra 6. Canberra Raiders 4. Kick to come.
Yeah, how good is he when he's running the ball? Ethan Strange, he's big, he's strong. But the one that you're talking about was Hudson Young. He runs through, but he pushes through the line and leaves plenty of space. So there's no obstruction there. It's just great footwork, great strength there by Ethan Strange. As soon as he decided to run, there was a bit of ball movement though. I'd like to see this put down. He might have dropped it over the line.
Let's go to the touchline. Gibbsy, what do you reckon?
Oh, there's a bobble, but I think he might have re-gripped it though. There's no obstruction. That's not a problem. He's stepping on both feet, but he's hit over the top. I reckon he re-grips it.
Does re-grip it.
I reckon he re-grips it. That's a try because Toby Couchman desperately tried to hit it out of his grasp, but that was a strong run. What about the set? It was hopeless. There was nothing happening. They'd gone backwards, and all of a sudden, Ethan Strange at the last tackle, the big don't argue. Define was a beauty. Then the left foot step, the right foot step. He showed his full kickback there. What a player.
Yeah, getting past Dylan Egan 3 or 4 metres out from the line was one of the impressive parts as well. So, 6-4, St George Illawarra leads. Ethan Strange, a brilliant individual try. And now Ethan Sanders.
Try under review for grounding.
They're checking it, and I've already written it in, Louis. That's why.
Cleared all aspects of play up until this point.
So,
Toby Couchman is just making a tackle and trying to prevent the ball being grounded. You can see it this...
this is out of in the bunker.
See at this point the ball's been dislodged. Ethan Strange now needs to re-grip it prior to it hitting the ground.
He does, because the ball, there's no space between. If you have a look
You can
at the
see that there's clear separation.
Then he's got his hand back on it.
And he fails to re-grip it before grounding it. We have a decision.
Hey, Kyle.
maybe that view is probably a better view than the front view.
Yeah, I find it hard.
I can live with that one.
Yeah, I'm with you. I thought, like you, Louis, it was a try, but it is no try. It remains 6-0 to St George Illawarra, and all that incredible work from Ethan Strange counts for naught in the end. St George Illawarra has a 25 out from their own goal line. They're working in centre field. Dennis, can I open this window? Is this openable?
It'll be very cold.
I know, but I'm still going to be able to see it. Well, brace yourself, Louis. The window's opening. St George Illawarra, 12 minutes short of halfway. I can see Damien Cook. He sends it open side. Oh, it is cold. To Toby Couchman, wrapped up 3 short of halfway. He'll play the ball now. And dummy half is Cook. Open side right, he goes to Gutherson. Charges there into Tarpany and 2 others, including Brayley. 10 metres in Canberra territory. Last tackle, Dragon to hold a 6-0 lead. Kick downfield now from Daniel Atkinson's right boot to the wing of Tamale. Oh, he never looked like catching that. Comes off him. Dived on by Canberra. Offside, and the penalty goes to St George Illawarra. He's going to be a target all day, Tamale, because he is not sure-handed. Horsburgh dived on the ball through instinct, well offside, and the penalty goes to St George Illawarra. So they've got a chance to add to this 6-0 lead. 15 minutes 40 gone. The contest was between he and Setu too. And if Tamale's not careful, Setu's going to have a field day. But they're not going to take the 2.
Canberra look horrible at the moment. They look like the Dragons going to put 20 on them.
And this is Canberra's day. They should be excelling in these conditions. From the tap, it's Toby Couchman caught 12 metres out, plays the ball to Cook, goes left to Pacifica Tonga. He's put to the ground, 8 metres out from the goal line. He'll play the ball now to Damien Cook. He walks miles off the mark. Now plays it to Cook, goes left to Flanagan away to Stewart. He's collared in a high tackle by Ethan Sanders, and it's a penalty to the Dragons. First 3 penalties now go to St George Illawarra, who leads 6-0. Make it 16 minutes and 20 seconds gone. And this is 15 in from the eastern touchline. I guess when you're coming last, why not just try and score tries? What are they going to do here? Damien Cook says to Ziggy, take the tap, and away they go. Comes open side right, and through hand, centre field to Ryan Couchman. He's put down 9 metres out, right in front of the Canberra post. 6-0 to the Dragons. Play comes right from Cook now to Toby Couchman. Easily got through Brayley into Tarpany. There's no oof in the Canberra defence either, Louis. Ball played, and there comes Cook. Goes left to Ryan Couchman, then away Flanagan, feeds it on to Gutherson, back to the right to Atkinson, right foot step past one, past two, now caught only 6 metres out from the Canberra line. St George Illawarra attacking here, Cook, goes left Pacifica Tonga, then away to Flanagan, put through a shocking kick, a left footer straight over the dead ball line. 20-metre tap, 7 tackles set for Canberra. It is 6-0 Dragons.
Yeah, you're right. That was a horrible kick there from Flanagan. As soon as he kicked it was always going down, but it did skim and pull up right just after the dead ball line, but not good enough there from the Dragons. But they're getting a lot of opportunity, the Dragons. Canberra look absolutely lost and rattled at the moment, so they've got to try and take this a little bit of advantage that they've got, the Dragons, to get as many points as they can on the board.
Xavier Savage plays it, comes left to Hosking. He scored 4 metres short of halfway. Canberra with a trailing 6 points to 0. They work it right to left. Brayley got the pass through hands. Now it's Hudson Young. He's tackled 5 metres in St George Illawarra territory by Egan. 20 in from the western touchline. Played to Paddy. Goes right to Tarpany. He steps into 3 defenders. Held as the call from Chikasa Adamski. And down he goes 10 metres in Dragons territory. And Tarpany thinks he should have at least got a set restart. Plays the ball now to Paddy. Short side right they go. And chinking into the defensive line. Brayley 30 metres out. Last tackle Canberra. Straight to Paddy, goes left to Ethan Sanders, left foot kick from 31 metres out. It's a very short kick. Tamale then dropped another one. And, geez, he's lucky. It came off the Dragon. 6 more tackles, Canberra. And they'll play 15. Now they ended up in the hands of Hudson Young. They play it and it goes right to Horsburgh in centre field. Corey's tackled 11 metres out from the goal line. Dragons 6, Raiders 0. Ball play. Paddy goes right. Sanders turns it into Hosking. He's taken by Pacifica Tonga 5 metres out from the St George Illawarra goal line, and also in there was Gutherson. Dummy half Paddy goes left. Brayley away. Sanders quick hands to nobody. Half volley by Strain. Goes on a stepping run past Fiinga. Can he get past another? Yes, he can. Still going, Ethan Strain. Back to the 10-metre line. Finally buried. 10 metres out. 6-0 St George Illawarra leads. About 19 minutes and 20 seconds of play. They work it right now, the Raiders. Sanders got it through hands away to Kyo Weeks, and he's caught on that right edge. 10 out from the goal line. Played to Paddy, back left to Horsburgh, then away to Sanders. Puts in a little stab kick. This should be a try to Hudson Young. What a chase. How often do we see that from Canberra? Hudson with an 8. He's able to score. Brilliant little stab kick. St George Illawarra 6, Canberra 4. Try to Hudson Young. 19 minutes 45 gone. Luke Lewis.
Well, you can see this coming from a mile away. Hudson Young wasn't even looking at the kicker. He already told him, I'll be chasing hard. Just get it on the toe. Put it in the backfield. And he's absolutely flying. And see you later, straight through the backfield. He just got to get the put down right. He's getting closer and closer to the dead ball line. And as he jumps and dives and puts it down, the ball's hitting the ground, gets the timing right, scores an outstanding try. Great execution and great communication too of his halfback to get that right. Great try from the Raiders.
Cool. Just got it down in the nick of time.
Not much there, but he got it down.
Amazing back rowers, Louis. You were an elite back rower, but these days you get Eli Katoa, who unfortunately we won't see it all this year, and Jeremiah Nene under the high ball, and Hudson Young. There's no better back rower chasing a kick on the ground than this play.
No, absolutely not.
Touchline, John Gibbs.
And the chase had to be outstanding because the kick from Ethan Sanders was a little bit heavy, and he was charging onto the ball. As you say, Louis, the communication was excellent. He was charging, and he's still got the ball down about a millimetre inside that dead ball line. It is slippery, and that all came about after Savelio Tamale went up for a ball, and luckily it went backwards into the arms of the eventual try scorer Hudson Young. So Tamale, it's interesting because he made his debut a couple of years ago for St George Illawarra, played one game, and now he's playing for Canberra against St George Illawarra.
Beautifully worked out, John. Here's Ethan Sanders, 22 out, 14 in from the western touchline to level the score. Sanders, the left foot kick, strikes it, likes it, kicks the goal, and it is Canberra 6, St George Illawarra 6 here at Canberra Stadium. About 21 minutes of play. Around the grounds, Jersey flag, half-time. Kaiviti Silktails leading Newcastle 8-6. Queensland Women's Rugby League, North Devils leading South Logan 10-0. Queensland Cup first half, Winner Manly 6 leading the Dolphins 4. Sunshine Coast 16 leading the Western Clydesdales 0, and at 6-all between Central Queensland and Mackay. 6-all here, Canberra and St George Illawarra. So the restart comes from Gutherson. I wonder whether scoring that try will click Canberra into gear, because they have been way off so far. From the kick-off, the return from Horsburgh runs it into 3 defenders, including on the field now Emre Gula for St George Illawarra. Here's Canberra right up the centre of the paddock. Good run, Simi Sasangi. Caught 27 out from his own line. Plays the ball quickly to Owen Paddy. Sends it right to Jayden Brayley, and he's dealt with about 14 metres short of halfway. And the Dragons having to defend here. It comes left to Tarpany. He's tackled 7 short of halfway. 4 tackles into the set. Played to Paddy. Goes right to Horsburgh. Jinking run at the defensive line. Gula, one of 3 defenders there. And the ball is popped out the back to Paddy. Sends it left to Sanders. Then away it goes back to Young. He's tackled 32 out from the line. Really good set after points here for the Raiders. Played on the last set of field. And Paddy fires it left to Sanders. Puts up a kick. Down the wing of Setu 2. Coming through to Marley. Oh, Setu 2. Great catch. Brilliant for the Dragons. 10 out from his own line. 12 in from touch in that northwest corner. Canberra 6 and George Illawarra 6. 17 minutes 45 to go in the half as it's played. And Matt Fiingo from dummy half. He's tackled 12 out from his own line.
Yeah, well, that try that Hudson Young scored definitely puts some spark back into the Canberra jersey. That was a beautiful set, some nice offloads, and a great enthusiastic chase down on that left edge. That's what they need to continue to do, the Canberra Raiders.
Damien Cook sends it left to Tyrell Sloan. He scored 32 out from his own line. Now Cook out of dummy half. Gains 10-15 metres. Finally caught 4 metres short of halfway. St George Illawarra with it. Scores locked at 6 as Louis goes for the jacket. Sorry, Louis. Here's the kick downfield now from Atkinson. He's basically lifted in the air by the Canberra defender. Kick straight down the throat of Tamale. He returned it into Fiingo Egan. 31 metres out from the Canberra line. 23 minutes gone. 6-all Dragons and Raiders. And inside the 10 is St George Illawarra. That's the first set restart of the game as Canberra gets to within 8 metres of halfway. Ball played by Tim McCord and Weeks. Goes right to Savage. Xavier. He charges headlong into the defence. Put to the ground by Flanagan. Just short of halfway. Plays the ball to Paddy. Comes to the left edge to Brayley. He's over the 40. Wrapped up 38 metres out from the Dragons line and 20 in from the eastern touchline. Paddy sets it centre fielder to Sanders to Strange. Cut out ball away to Tamale down the left wing, but he's going to nearly be driven over the touchline. And how has he stayed in the field of play? No, he didn't. Finally, the flag goes up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Dragons around Tamale.
There is no second evidence to touch. Change over. 10, 20 on middle.
Joe Tarpany very unhappy with the decision. It's going to be a Dragons play the ball. 22 out from their own line. 6-all the score, and it all happened in front of you, John Gibbs. What did you see?
Yeah, well, I saw that the touch judge who made the error previously was unsighted. He wasn't going to make an early call. I think he's a little bit worried because he looked at the big screen on that last one, but he got that one right.
Okay. So credit that time to the touch judge. Clayton Wills is now St George Illawarra, 15 metres short of halfway. Ball played to Cook. Sends it right to Gula. Backs his way into the defence to Zemre against his old team. And he'll play 2 metres short of halfway for St George Illawarra. To the left they go. Flanagan to Gutherson away to a juggling Val Holmes. Got straight through Sasangi. But he's knocked to the deck pretty soon after by Sanders. 8 metres inside Canberra territory. As now the Dragons. They're beating tackles at will. They're 32 metres out from the goal line. Played by Hamish Stewart to Cook. Goes right now to Atkinson. The kick from 32 metres out. Tamale against 2 again. Tamale drops another one. The ball loose on the deck, and it's knock on both ways. The first, I believe, from Gavelio Tamale. He doesn't look like he's close to catching anything out there, Tamale. So it'll be a Canberra Raiders having to defend. St George Illawarra get a scrum feed 10 metres out, and poor old Tamale, Lou, he's going to get plenty of high kicks coming his way.
Yeah, he's got at least another 50 coming to his way this afternoon because he's just not confident going into it. He's sort of standing there, he's jumping, but he's got to get his hands up. You're always going to have someone coming down there. If you keep doing that, you're 50-50, and I reckon 50% of the time it's going to go to the attacking side.
So, it is now the Dragons. What an opportunity. In the scrum when they're 6 metres out in front of the post. Played by Toby Couchman. Comes right. Flanagan turns it into Emre Gula, charges close to the line, held up 2 metres away, 6-all the score. St George Illawarra with it, Cook goes left, Flanagan away to Gutherson, dummies and gets nailed, 9 metres out from the line. Very good defence from Zach Hosking, head on, played to Cook, comes open side right to Ryan Couchman, and he's going to make it within 3 metres of the Canberra goal line. Near enough, centre field, southern end, 26 minutes gone, 6-all. They go left again, Flanagan got a short ball away, and Val Holmes is going to be put on his back 2 metres out. Last tackle, played to Gutherson, comes back right to Flanagan under pressure, knocked to the ground by Tarpany, and it is a changeover. Great defence. That was slow as a wet week from St George Illawarra. Canberra with the ball, 12 out from their own line, 13 minutes, 20 left in the half. 6-all the score, and Louis, well, this is kind of fun to watch. We are seeing why teams have played 16th and 17th.
Oh, absolutely. Everything's just done a little bit slower. I love what Joey Tarpany done here. He just comes out, puts pressure on the halfback, doesn't let him come up with a decision to either pass or kick, and gets a really good shot on him and gets the ball back for his team. So great work by the captain.
Now Xavier Savage shoved back 5 or 6 metres to the 10-metre line. Plays it to Owen Paddy. Comes left to Marley. Tackled 18 out from his own line for Canberra now, Owen Paddy. Goes right edge against a sunny dump to the ground. 26 out from his own line. Wonderful tackle by Dylan Egan. Played to Paddy. Comes right Tarpany. Trying to lead from the front for Canberra. Tarpany had 4 defenders around him at one point. Now stands in the tackle. 10 short of halfway. Paddy kicks from just inside the 40. Over the head of Tyrell Sloan. But Gutherson's back there. 8 metres out from his own line. A few in from the eastern touch line. He returns it himself, Gutherson, to be put to the ground 20 out from his own line and 10 in from touch on that eastern side of Canberra Stadium. Plays it to Flanagan, goes open side right to Tyrell Sloan, who was the Dragons try scorer back in the 9th minute. Hudson Young, the Canberra Raiders try scorer. Now it's come centre field right to Setu 2. Wrapped up 30 metres out from his own line. You with Luke Lewis, John Gibbs, I'm Andrew Moore, NRL Sunday at Canberra Stadium. Toby Couchman carts it up to within 10 of halfway. He's having another very productive afternoon, Toby Couchman. Played to Cook, goes left to Flanagan, away to Stewart. Hamish Stewart over halfway. Still on his feet, Stewart, and a flick pass out the back to Gutherson. He's over the 40, darts from left to right, straight through one ordinary attempt, now claimed. 29 out from the goal line, played on the last to Cook, sends it right to Atkinson. Pressure on Tamale again from the high kick, and this time he comes up with the catch, ends up in the in-goal area. It's going to be a goal line dropout for Canberra. That time he held his nerve, Tamale. 11 minutes 20 to go in the half. Canberra 6 and George Illawarra 6. Touchline, John Gibbs.
Well, that was a really good set from the Dragons. Look, there's no shortage of effort from both sides, but I think you can see why we're watching 16th versus 17th. But what is really pleasing is your Couchmans, Ryan and Toby both going well, and you look at Dylan Egan, Hamish Stewart, they're going to have a good future, the Dragons, albeit an ordinary year.
And just check for me, Johnny, I think someone's just been placed on report too. Here's a long line dropout. Picked up by the Dragons, 10 metres short of halfway, and returned by Toby Couchman, 10 metres into Canberra Raiders territory. Scores locked at 6. Ball played to Cook, comes right now to Ryan Couchman. He steps into Paddy, and a tackle with Jaden Brayley's help, 31 metres out. Right in front of the southern post, Cook goes left to Gula. And he is charging there into the tackle of Adam Mariotto, who's on the field. Stands in the tackle, 20 metres out.
Don't push forward, Emre.
Don't push forward, Emre. Come on, mate.
Go back up. Leave it a mill.
Yep, plays it to Cook, goes right. Flanagan turns it into Toby Couchman. He scored 15 out for the Canberra line. 6-all the score. Half an hour gone. Damien Cook spins it away left this time. Flanagan to Gutherson. Dummies inside. Goes that way to Holmes. He's knocked to the ground and fouled by Horsburgh. 11 metres out. Played on the last, comes right. Atkinson had plenty of time. Tamale runs into Timmercord, taken by Setu 2. He's into the in-goal area. Can he get the ball down? Setu 2, he did. Oh, this is such one-way traffic. Setu 2 against Savelio Tamale. It's not even close. Setu 2 scores a try. 9 minutes 30 to go in this first half, and the Dragons are back in front. A try to 2. St George Illawarra 10, Canberra 6. Kick to come. How many kicks did you say was coming Tamale's way? Whatever you said, Louis, double it.
50. So you're going 100. But I tell you what, there's a little bit of a communication problem here too. They're not getting themselves in the right position here, the Canberra Raiders. Raiders. Tamale gets sort of tangled up with his teammate Timoko. Can't get a jump on the play, and then Setu too. He couldn't believe it. He gets through. There's a little bit of an opportunity to get the ball. Keeps pumping those massive legs and gets over the line, and somehow gets it down with a couple of Canberra players around him. But the kick as well. The kick from Daniel Atkinson gets it pinpoint, puts it right on Tamale, and then gives him an opportunity there, Setu too, and he comes up trumps.
Touchline, John Gibbs.
Yeah, look, it was a really good kick from Atkinson. He's been kicking well because he's been putting it on a dime, and Setu to the recipient here. There was, the hint of a bobble there. I think he's got it down now. It was a bad miss again for Tamale. But Setu too, he's been a bright light also for the Dragons. His first year, 13 games, try confirmed by the way, and 8 tries.
He's looked very good, Johnny. Here's Val Holmes down, 27 metres out. 3 or 4 in from touch, in or out, Luke?
I think you pull it left. I can't really get a good angle on the ball though, but I feel like it's aiming way left.
Here he comes, Val Holmes. Moves in, strikes it, no, it's way right. He tried to overcorrect. He's missed that by a long way. So he's 1 out of 2. It is St George Illawarra, though, leading Canberra 10 points to 6. This is NRL Sunday with Luke Lewis, John Gibbs. I'm Andrew Moore.
That was ugly all way, the whole way, that kick.
He used to be the best striker of the football. Now he's amongst the worst, Val Holmes.
It even looked like he had it aimed, lined up a totally different angle.
Now on the jersey flag, if you just thrown a...
No, just throw it down, just put it down.
Goal-kicking disgust. Jersey flag, Coyote, Silktails 8, lead Newcastle 6 second half.
Tamale's been pulled too.
Has he?
Yeah.
Well, that's it. He's gone from the field, John Gibbs.
Yep, and he's walked off. And remember, he had an ordinary game a couple of months ago when he asked Ricky Stewart to put him in New South Wales Cup. Well, Ricky Stewart has acted. He knows he's having...
Gibbsy, I don't mean to interrupt you, but I've just seen, this is man management here. Tamale, he's been taken from the field, and Ricky's gone straight and sat next to him, put his arm around him.
Yep, crisis in confidence, and Ricky had to pull the trigger. So on goes Seb Chris, a pretty good replacement, but he didn't want to, decay his confidence anymore. So Ricky Stewart has taken him from the field.
Jeez, you don't see that these days, but the way Ricky handled it was notable. Here's the Dragons, 2 metres in Canberra territory, played the Cook on the last, comes to the right, kick downfield from Atkinson, getting back there for his first touch is Seb Chris, and he catches it 5 out from his own goal line. He dummies, and then he's a bigger body, Seb Chris too, but he's taken here by Gula and Ryan Couchman, 20 metres out from his own goal line, plays the ball to Weeks, goes right to Timokor. He's wrapped up 25 out from his own line. 7 minutes to go. St George Illawarra 10, Canberra 6 in the first half. Played to Patty. Goes right to Xavier Savage. He accelerates into the defence. Good leg drive from Savage. And he's going to be held 33 out from his own line. So Tamale is looking with his head down on the bench on the touchline here at Canberra Stadium. 8 short of halfway. Kyo Weeks joins the back line, but doesn't get much joy here. He runs into Stewart and to Flanagan. Caught 9 metres in St George Illawarra territory, eastern side on the last. Sanders the kick from 42 metres out. Towering kick down to Gutherson with the catch, and he falls over 6 metres out from his own line, then gets to his feet and he returns at 12 metres out. Was it Chad Townsend at this ground, Louis, in a finals game that got replaced by Shane Flanagan?
Yeah, 2016 got replaced. And then he come back the following week and had a really good game.
Here's the Dragons now. Cook. He sent it right to Fing. Slipped and fell as he tried to step. About 25 metres out from his own goal line. In fact, that was Setu too. Now flick pass out the back. Damien Cook gets it away to Atkinson. He's caught 14 short of halfway. Centre field. St George Illawarra with it with a 10-6 lead. Played to Cook. Goes left to Gutherson, to Flanagan, then to Hamish Stewart. He dummies his way into the defence and taken. No, little dipsy doodle out the back for Gutherson off the ground. Then goes right to Damien Cook. He sends it away further right to Atkinson. He puts in a kick downfield on play 4, and it's going to skedaddle over the dead ball line.
It's a weird play.
That is a weird play. 20-metre tap. I mean, there was a lot of goodness in it, but not a good finish. 20-metre tap for Canberra. 7 tackles set. 10-6 Dragons lead. 5 minutes 30 left in the half. Luke.
Well, they stripped him for numbers, the Canberra Raiders, and he come off with a kick. Atkinson run the ball. His strength is to run. He should be skipping across field, throwing a cutout pass out wide. They had 3 or 4 on 2 men on the Canberra Raiders, and he comes up a kick and goes dead, gives him a 7 tackle restart. He just can't do it.
So now Seb Chris put to the ground, 5 short of halfway. Canberra works at left edge, repeating that Savelio Tamale is taken from the field after a series of errors. Sanders goes right weak, then links up with Semi Sasangi with a right foot step, and Sasangi is held on to here by Holmes and also in there Flanagan, 37 away from the Dragons line, 19 from the eastern touchline, played to Weeks, comes right to left, through hands Horsburgh, set restart inside the 10, Emre Gula for the Dragons, Strange beats one, then a wraparound ball to support, Hudson Young gets it away to Tinnacore, fends away from Sedu 2, then Owen Paddy says run straight Matty, and he does as he's told, he's going to be held 21 metres out from the line. Set restarts, 2-0 to Canberra, then 18 metres out Paddy, sends it right to Hudson Young, he's claimed 11 out from the goal line, Dragons 10, Raiders 6, 4 minutes 14 to go in the half, played to Paddy, comes to the right Brayley, then links up with Mariotta, but the defence is there, sure one of 3 defenders with Cook. Stands in the tackle, 5 out, played to Paddy, goes from dummy half, set it right to Hosking, but he's felled, 1 metre out from the goal line, great tackle Kyle Flanagan, Paddy goes short side right again, Canberra getting very close to the line, about half a metre out, brilliant defence by Ryan Couchman, Sasangi plays it, the ball touched by the Dragons, they come up with it through Emre Gula, 5 out from their own goal line, 3 minutes 40 left in the half, Dragons 10, Canberra 6.
Well, the pass there from Paddy, that actual one there, short, close to the line, that last pass, I thought it come off a Dragons player, it'll end up landing in the Dragons' hands, but yeah, that was a try-scoring opportunity there, Gorm begging, but nice play by the Dragons. Great running from Damien Cook up the middle of the field as well.
Sloan now goes left to Ryan Couchman, caught 34 out from his own line by Hosking. Plays the ball and Sloan out of dummy half, still going. Now he's felled 5 short of halfway, played on the last. Gutherson goes right, kicked downfield by Atkinson, dropping back Chris. Also there is Weeks, but it's Chris with the catch. 10 metres out from his own goal line, heads back to the 20, but he's taken well. 21 out from his own line, 3 left in the half. John Gibbs, Dragons leading 10-6.
Well, since he's come on after Tamale was hooked, Seb Chris has taken a couple of beautiful balls. Maybe they better change plan and kick to the other side, kick to Xavier Savage. Maybe he'll be the weak link.
Josh Kerr, by the way, on the field now for St George Illawarra. Canberra, 33 out from their own line. Ball played, and it comes right to Mariota, and a forward pass from dummy half. This Canberra performance is bordering on a net. Owen Paddy, or was it Brayley with the forward pass out of dummy half? It was Owen Paddy. He's come up with a couple of shockers. So the Dragons will get the scrum feed, Louis. 34 out from the Canberra line. A really important part of the game with 2 minutes 15 left in the half.
Yeah, well, look, the Dragons, it'd be nice to get an extra try. With the amount of dominance they've had really in this first half, they probably should be up by a try, or at least one more try, I'd say. But you know, the Dragons, I mean, the Canberra Raiders, they just keep gifting them opportunities. They just can't get it right.
Here's Josh Kerr from the scrum win, running 2 wide of the scrum, and he's put on his back. 32 out for the Canberra line, 1 minute 51 left on the ticking clock, and it's 10-6 in favour of St George Illawarra. Cook goes left, and through hands, Flanagan ends up Gutherson to Holmes. He's ridden into the Canberra Stadium turf. Great tackle there by Savage, 25 out from the line. Now comes open side right to Stewart. He's been a handful out on that left edge. 13 out from the goal line. Cook goes to his right, away to Gula. He's tackled 5 out from the Canberra line. Dragons up 10-6 and right on the attack near half-time. The tackle there on Gula by Horsburgh, and Emre very slow. In fact, he hasn't got to his feet. Referee Chaklasa Adamski says play it, and he reluctantly does to Cook. Comes to the right, Flanagan turns it into Egan. Dylan Egan scored 5 metres out. Last tackle for St George Illawarra. Damien Cook goes left. Atkinson does kick it to the other side of the field. Coming through was Hamish Stewart. It ricocheted back to Xavier Savage, but a knock on St George Illawarra. Change over to Canberra. 10 out from their own line. 52 seconds left in the first half. St George Illawarra 10, Canberra 6.
Emre Gula should be pulled from the field. He was dead set faking that. As soon as he gets up and plays the ball, runs straight back on side and then gets back into shape. I hate that look. It's horrible.
So now Canberra with the footy. They work it to the right edge, trailing here by 10-6 with 33 seconds to go in the half. Comes left to Adam Mariotta. He runs straight to the 30-metre line and beyond. Finally on his back, 32 out from his own line. Ball played to Paddy. Spins it away left, Brayley. Links up now through hands. Sanders, Strange, Timacor. Good tackle head on by Feeney to drop him 8 metres short of halfway. 8 in from touch, western side. 10 seconds to go in the half. Horsburgh runs across field left to right. Then a right foot step off the fast straight to the Dragons, and that's what pretty much Canberra's been doing all day. So Saints get it back. 3 metres in Canberra territory, and this time fortuitously for Horsburgh and the Canberra Raiders, the halftime siren sounds. So St George Illawarra, bottom of the table, leading second last Canberra, 10 points to 6 here at Canberra Stadium, in front of a crowd of around, I reckon, about 12,000 people. For the Dragons, tries to Tyrell Sloan in the 9th minute. Setu 2 scored in the 31st. Valentine Holmes 1 goal from 2 attempts. No restarts for Canberra. Tried to Hudson Young in the 20th minute. Ethan Sanders 1 from 1. 2 restarts. The penalties are 3 blocked to St George. Illawarra and the Dragons, I think, deserve to be in front, Louis, 10-6.
Yeah, they're a better team at the moment. They've got a little bit better field position. They come up with a couple of better plays. But, yeah, look, I think it's a bit of a yucky game to be watching at the moment. But, yeah, look, I think they'll be happy, the Dragons, that they're going in ahead. But I think they'll be a little bit disappointed they get some more points on the board. And I think for Canberra, they'll be doing what's doing. I reckon Sticky will give them a massive spray at half-time.
Well, John Gibbs, what did you make of that first half?
I think your description was apt, Andrew. It's an inept display from Canberra. This is the minor premiers of last year, and their roster hasn't markedly changed. It's quite incredible, isn't it? And we saw the situation with Tamale being hooked. We rarely see a player being hooked. And yes, I know that he got a cuddle from Ricky Stewart, which is really nice. And he can only do that because he's down here on the sideline. And Seb Chris has come on and done all right. But I don't know what's going on with Canberra, seriously. Apart from a couple of highlights from Ethan Strange individual efforts, they have been woeful. And St George Illawarra have been given a couple of opportunities. It was a drop ball, bad pass from Paddy to Zach Hosking, and Tyrell Sloan raced more than 50 metres. That's the first try they've scored all year from inside their own half. So every team now has scored from inside their own half. I'm not sure what to make of it. The only thing is, Andrew, is despite the inept display, they're only 4 points down. So that's good news. They've been capitulating in recent times, gave up the 16-point lead last week. So 4 points behind will be no problem for them. I think the Raiders will get a spray, and I think they'll respond in the second half.
Half-time, 10-6 Dragons, and a text I've seen here from Mitch. When is Papa back, Andrew? Geez, they miss his go forward. I just saw a big Josh Papali'i walk past the box. He looked fit and well, so I'd imagine his return is not far away, if not next week. Around the grounds, Jersey Flex, second half. Newcastle 10, leading Coiviti Silktails 8. Queensland Women's Rugby League, second half. North 14, South Logan 0. Half-time Queensland Cup games, Dolphins 18, Winner Manly 6. Sunshine Coast 22, Western Clydesdales 4. And in the first half, the Capras 22, leading Mackay 6. Half-time, 10-6, Dragons over Raiders. Let's head to the ABC newsroom.
Hello, I'm Satyam Weinstein. The death toll from twin earthquakes in Venezuela has risen to more than 1,400 people as search teams work to pull more survivors from the rubble of collapsed buildings. Venezuela's government says almost 70,000 people have been reported missing 3 days after the 7.2 and 7.5 magnitude quakes devastated the South American nation. Specialist teams from Italy and France and nearly 1,000 volunteers from around the world have joined the efforts, but Venezuelans say they're frustrated over the government's lackluster response to the disaster, with this resident calling for more support.
They say there are people there who are still alive, but it seems there is not enough machinery and equipment to clear all this rubble. I ask, please, to send people who are capable of helping us, and that they don't stop searching. They don't stop searching.
The U.S. has carried out more airstrikes on Iran after another ship was hit by a drone in the Strait of Hormuz. U.S. Central Command says it launched multiple strikes on surveillance infrastructure, communication systems, air defense sites, and drone storage facilities. Meanwhile, in response, Iran is firing drones and missiles at Kuwait and Bahrain. It says it's targeting U.S. military assets in the region. Associate Professor of History at Kuwait University, Dr. Badir Massoua Al-Saif, says the international community community needs to apply pressure to both Iran and the United States to end the tit-for-tat attacks.
This cat and mouse game between the US and Iran needs to end. The ceasefire that was announced recently is obviously on a shaky ground, and we've seen the results of that in the last few days and few hours.
The Federal Treasurer, Jim Chalmers, says the government is moving to fix an unintended consequence of the overhaul of property tax breaks to protect widows and divorcees. The issue was first identified last week during debate on the government's changes to negative gearing and the capital gains tax discount. While the legislation passed, the government gave an assurance that existing assets will remain exempt from the tax changes if they change hands through death or divorce. Dr. Chalmers says the issue will be dealt with in a second bill later this year.
That's because it'll be made clear in the legislation, David. I don't think that's a particularly contentious way to say it. We will address it. If you want to use a different word, David, we will fix it, and we'll make clear the way that we will fix it in the legislation that follows.
The New South Wales government is investing an extra $34 million to expand shark spotting drones. From July 1st, 70 beaches will have year-round drone surveillance with more coverage in Sydney and regional New South Wales. It comes after a 34-year-old woman was attacked by a white shark while swimming between the flags at Coogee Beach in Sydney's east 2 weeks ago. Surf Lifesaving New South Wales CEO Steve Pearce says the program will now deliver around 500,000 flights each year.
The previous program up until this announcement was the largest shark surveillance program in the world. Surf Lifesaving New South Wales had undertaken just over 100,000 separate flights for shark surveillance under that program. This uplift is enormous.
A heat wave, which scientists say is the worst ever recorded in Europe, is continuing to move east across the continent. Extreme heat is hitting countries including the Czech Republic, Hungary and Poland, which are facing record temperatures. Germany also reached an unprecedented high of more than 40 degrees Celsius. Baz Kanik from the European Environment Agency says people are going to have to change the way they live their lives.
School holidays or the school days will need to change in the future. Work pattern will need to change. Those in Southern Europe who are experiencing heat waves, who have experience in the heat waves, can also give some kind of examples to those countries who were not so much used to heat waves in the past.
People have braved the heat to attend the first Pride March in Hungary since Viktor Orban lost power. The right-wing former Prime Minister banned the event in Budapest last year. His policies on LGBTQ+ rights were widely seen as the European Union's most restrictive. This year, large crowds danced through the capital, waving rainbow flags. At the FIFA World Cup, Argentina has had a 3-1 win over Jordan in Dallas. Austria and Algeria drew 3-3 in Kansas City. The Democratic Republic of Congo made it through to the round of 32 for the first time with their first ever win at a World Cup, securing a 3-1 comeback victory over Uzbekistan in Atlanta. Colombia and Portugal played out a scoreless draw in Miami. England had a 2-0 win over Panama in New Jersey, and Croatia beat Ghana 2-1 in the city of Philadelphia. You're up to date with the very latest from ABC News.
Australia have been the dominant force in women's cricket for nearly 50 years.
Australia has done it again. Australia clinches the T20 World Cup.
But without a current World Cup title, they face no shortage of challenges in their bid to return to the top. New Zealand, the current T20 champions. England, the constant threat. South Africa, a young team on the rise. India, a new force in the game.
Could be a catch. Yes, taken by the captain. Harmanpreet Kaur. India win the World Cup. Listen to the noise.
Can Australia find their best against the best and claim their 7th T20 crown? ABC Sport brings you every game of the ICC Women's T20 World Cup, live and uninterrupted on ABC Listen. Just look for the cricket button.
ABC Sports coverage of the 2026 NRL Premiership.
Matt Timmickle having a great start to the game, finally tackled right on the Luke Lewis line, 35 metres out from the Dragons goal line, and in there to greet him was Ryan Couchman. Now Sanders a pass to Hosking, went without it, look out, it's picked up by the Dragons, they race over halfway, Tyrell Sloan, no one will get near him, Savage is trying, but no way Jose, Tyrell Sloan races over to score, poor pass from Canberra, poor attempted catch from Hosking, Joe Tarpany blowing up at his teammates, and Tyrell Sloan too quick, streaks over to score the try, 10 out from the goal line. Played to Paddy, back left to Horsburgh, then away to Sanders, puts in a little stab kick, This should be a try to Hudson Young. What a chase. How often do we see that from Canberra? Hudson with an H. He's over to score. Brilliant little stat kick. 11 metres out. Played on the last. Comes right. Atkinson had plenty of time. Tamale runs into Timacor. Taken by Sedu too. He's into the in-goal area. Can he get the ball down? Sedu too. He did. Oh, this was such one-way traffic. Sedu too against Savelio Tamale. It's not even close. Sedu too scores a try. 9 minutes 30 to go in this first half, and the Dragons are back in front.
Rugby League is on your radio. The 2026 NRL Premiership. ABC Sport Digital Radio and ABC Listen.
10-6 and George Illawarra leads Canberra. Next, Newcastle takes on the West Tigers at Hunter Stadium. Brett Sprigg is there. G'day, Spriggy.
G'day, Maury. Well, in years gone by, only very recent years, this matchup would have been a bit like yours today. Second last versus last. The two sides that have combined for the past 4 wooden spoons. But of course, we now know there are bigger things to play for. Higher hopes for both of these sides, especially Newcastle. In fact, I'm pretty sure when they last met in round 6 at Campbelltown, it may have even been the top of the table or close enough to it. The Knights were 5th at the start of this round. They've now slipped to 8th due to other results going ahead of them. But a win here reaffirms their place in the top 8. The Tigers were beaten last week in that entertaining game at Seatown at the hands of the Dolphins. They sit only 1 game behind the 9th place Cowboys with their even ledger of 7-7. The team news, we'll start with the home side of a 1-19. Caelan Ponga, Dylan Lucas, both back from their post-origin rest. Fletcher Sharp shifts to 5/8, and Sandon Smith will come off the bench today. Jermaine McEwen's also back from a club-imposed suspension, and he's back in the starting side there in the second row. While for the West Tigers, big inclusion, of course, Adam Dewey taking his place at half-back after coming back from a shoulder injury, so it's his first game for him since round 9. Alex Twal won't play today. It's at least 1 more week for him, and it's the 50th NRL game for Sione Fainu, by the way, as well, for the West Tigers back rower. Speaking of Tigers, this guy won a comp with them. He played for the Bulldogs. He played for New Zealand. He loves a little drive up to Newcastle. Dita Hallertau, happy Sunday to you.
Happy Sunday, Spriggy. What about your start? You just bagged your 2 co-commentators here. The 2 teams saying, this was a Battle of the Spoon last year, and just refresh.
I present facts. It's a fact that these teams have been terrible for the last several years. They're not this year, though. Tell me why.
Well, the Tigers have probably faltered the last month. Newcastle is definitely a team on the up, and I have enjoyed coming up here to watch their games this year because the style of football that they're playing under Justin Holbrook has been really entertaining, highly explosive on the edges, and it's something that the locals definitely are loving for the Tigers. Just as I said, that last month and a half where they've had some dips in performances has probably been due to personnel. I've made that excuse for them before, and getting Adam Dewey back today is going to be huge in for them.
The ABC's own, the Hunter's own, Bridget Murphy is here. Bridge, the Knights did win last start just against the Dragons. How different are they with Caelan Ponga back in that side?
It'll be a massive inclusion to have not only Caelan back at fullback, but also for the return of Dylan Lucas, who I think we've seen since his return from that injury earlier this year. That's when really the Knights started to get back to what we saw a bit more in Vegas, where they had that incredible opening game. So I think those 2 in particular coming back in for Newcastle will be huge. I mean, when you look at the list, basically the Knights are at full strength, save for Pasami Saulo, who is out with injury. But of course, the Knights have a luxury situation where they've got a lot of big blokes that can get into that forward pack. So Pasami Saulo, a player that's able to be a bit more easily patched.
The Knights have won 5 of their past 6. They've won 4 of their past 5 here at home, despite the scaffolding and the Andrew John stand looking more and more precarious every time.
It gets bigger and bigger each week.
It does. Our Jersey Flag score, by the way, a live score here. The Committee Silktails trailing Newcastle 22 points to 8 with 8 minutes left in the second half. Our referee in first grade will be Peter Goff with Grant Atkins in the bunker, and we'll bring it to you all from 4 o'clock on the dot. Maury, can't wait for the final game of round 17. Just don't send that rain too far north. It's fine and dry here for now.
Yeah, okay. Well, good luck. Can't wait to listen on the way home with Spriggy, Shop, and the Bridgeinator. Here come the Dragons. First team out for the second half. St George Illawarra 10, Canberra 6. Now, I've just been doing some checking around too. Josh Papali'i, who just walked past again, actually, he'll be fit for the next game. They actually have the bye next weekend, and he'll be sweet. So will Noah Martin, the young back rower for Canberra. So they'll welcome both of those players back with open arms. Here comes the Raiders. But they've got to find something, Luke Lewis, down 10-6 at the break.
Yeah, absolutely. They haven't been playing good football. The only one who's sort of looking a little bit threatening out there is obviously Hudson Young and Strange, I could say as well. He's trying hard out there, but they just look a little bit off of their attack. They're sort of very flat. They're not offering a whole lot out wide. And the Dragons, that's why they're in front at the moment. But maybe a little bit of drama here, a little bit of bucketing down rain. Something happens, and then we start to get a bit of a turn. What do you reckon?
You're looking for a bit of chaos. Second last chaos. All right. Here's the kickoff coming. Tamale remains on the bench. He was pulled off the field by Ricky Stewart after being targeted by the Dragons. Couldn't catch anything against Setu 2 and taken off, and Ricky Stewart went straight over, sat with him, put his arm around him, gave his hair a ruffle. His confidence obviously absolutely shot to Marley, and Sebastian Chris remains out there for Canberra. From the kick-off, the Dragons, 15 out from their own line. The ball played and it comes open side left, 17 metres out from their own line and 20 in from the eastern touchline. That's where Setu 2 is tackled. Played to Damien Cook. Comes left away to Ryan Couchman. He stands in the tackle, about 30, make it 21 out from his own line, courtesy of Mariotto. Played to Cook. Goes right to Dylan Egan. He's wrapped up on his own 30. We'll check in with Gibbsy shortly as well. 20 in from touch on the eastern side. Cook goes open side left to Gutherson. Brayley is there with Paddy and Mariota. 10 metres short of halfway. Last tackle, Dragons. Cook goes right to Atkinson. Down goes the kick from inside the 40. Dropping back Weeks with the catch. 13 out from his own line. Hits straight over the 20 to the 30. I was going to say runs into the white wall. Today it's the red wall. About 34 metres out from the Canberra line. Dragons leading by 10 points to 6. Canberra with it. Matt Timacor, he goes over the 40 and taken 20 metres in from the eastern touchline. He may have been one of Canberra's best in the first half. He and Ethan Strange. Now they play and he goes right to Sebastian Chris. He scored 2 metres short of halfway. Canberra with the footy. Played to Owen Paddy. Delayed pass goes right. Sanders turns it into Hosking and he's wrapped up 6 metres in Dragons territory. St George Illawarra up 10-6. Canberra with the footy. Paddy short side right to Weeks. Kaya Weeks dummies. Tries to find a way through. Beats one. Now he's claimed 29 out from the goal line by Stewart. Plays at 11 in from the western touchline on the last Paddy. Links up with Sanders. Left foot kick. Coming down to the southwest corner. Sloan against Savage. Ball is loose and then dropped by Simi Sasagi and tapped over the touchline by Flanagan. But it is a knock-on from Canberra. It'll be a handover to St George Illawarra. 10 out from their own goal line. 2 gone second half. Dragons 10. Raiders 6. Oh dear. Well, there could have been a challenge. The crowd's booing, but they could have challenged it if they thought the knock-on went the other way. Let's check in on the touchline, John Gibbs.
Well, what they're doing also there was Xavier Savage. There was a rather bad hair pull on him. I think you'll be hearing more about that. Someone will be getting fined for that. Dean Young very happy with the effort from the Dragons. Just wants to keep up their intensity and put the pressure on Canberra. Not sure what happened in the Canberra rooms because it was only coach and players. So I would expect there was a spray. There's another good dash from Damien Cook. By the way, Andrew, a bit of homework. No evidence of a report in that first half.
Yeah, okay. Thanks very much. Louis thought he saw the 2 arms go up. He definitely did. He's sticking with it. Here's kick downfield from Atkinson. Sebastian Chris dropped back with the catch. 15 out from his own line. Returns it near the 20. Then he got straight through Kerr. Then caught 21 out from his own goal line. 10-6 in favour of St George Illawarra. 3 gone second half. Xavier Savage right across field, and by the time he straightens, the defence is holding firm, and he's shoved across field by Dylan Egan, and also in there was Fiinga. Played 28 out from the Canberra line. They work it right to Timacor. He's tackled 15 short of halfway. For the most part, been a very uninspired game so far from Canberra here at home. Corey Horsburgh with a hit up. He's over the 40. Stands in the tackle 5 short of halfway. And then he lost the ball as he tried to play it. He's blowing up about a Corey Horsburgh. But again, there could be a challenge if they feel that strongly about it.
Clock on.
And there's not going to be. So there's only so much you can blow up if you're not going to go to a challenge. Unless you're dirty on yourself.
Well, he couldn't go to a challenge. I don't even know he's blowing up about it. He should be blowing up himself going, that was me, I dropped it, good call, sir. I think that's what he said.
I didn't lip read the good call, sir. I missed that part. I must have looked away. Here's St George Illawarra winning the scrum. Damien Cook. He sends the ball away right side. taking the tackle. About 10 metres inside Canberra territory was Fienge. Now comes short side right to Dylan Egan over the 30. Wrapped up 28 out, and that error from Horsburgh opens up a great chance here for St George Illawarra. They're right in centre field, 19 or 20 metres out from the Canberra line at the northern end. The ball played to Damien Cook. He goes left. Flanagan, switcheroo, back to the right, Gutherson. He got the delayed pass away to support. They're only 12 metres out from the goal line. Atkinson to his feet, plays it to Cook, spins it left to Gula. Emre Gula straightens, ball pops up out the back, still play 4. Ends up with Flanagan, turns it into Gutherson again, and Gutherson is surrounded, stands in the tackle. 10 out from the Canberra line in front of the post, played on the last to Cook. Goes left, through hands, Flanagan to Holmes, he dropped it, Savage picks it up, look out, over the 30, the 40, halfway, put the glasses down, horse goes bye-bye, and he's away, Xavier Savage, slows to a trot. Tyrell Sloan was in pursuit, but Xavier Savage runs 90 metres against the runner, play to score. Referee Chaklas Radamski points to the spot, and the mistake from the Dragons helps Canberra level the scores. 10-all, 5 minutes 30 gone second half.
Well, this could have been a try either way. If Flanagan gets the pass right here and gets it onto Valentine Holmes' chest, it's a 2-on-1. It would have been a quick little pass to Sloan, and he would have been going over on the side, over in the corner. But then it hits the ground, and then one of the quickest men on the field, and Xavier Savage picks the ball up and just runs the length. That's not one person you want to be seeing when there's a loose ball with open field behind you. But good work there from the Canberra Raiders to pounce on the ball. Poor execution from the Dragons. But that's a try gone absolutely begging for the Dragons.
Again, if my auntie had whiskers, she'd be my uncle. Xavier Savage streaks away. 10-all, touchline, John Gibbs. There's the rain again.
Yeah, here comes the rain, Andrew. I'll get this umbrella up so my program's not paper mache. Bear with me. There it is. It's up.
That's good work on the run,
Anyway, what's happened there, it wasn't a good pass. In these conditions, slippery, wet, that was a terrible pass of Kyle Flanagan. Valentine Holmes, he just coughed it up though. Xavier Savage took advantage, full advantage. It's exactly the same as what Tyrell Sloan did in the first half. That's what they needed. That will give them confidence.
So here's Ethan Sanders, 18 out, 18 in for touch, strikes it with the left boot, likes it, kicks the goal. He's 2 out of 2, and now Canberra is in the lead for the first time. Canberra 12, St George Illawarra 10, 6 minutes 41 gone, second half. NRL Sunday here at Canberra Stadium on ABC Sport. Luke Lewis, John Gibbs and Andrew Moore next at Hunter Stadium, Newcastle and the West Tigers. You'll hear it all through until 6:30 tonight with Brett Sprick, Dean Hallertau and also Bridget Murphy. So the Dragons now behind for the first time this afternoon. Around the ground, second half, Jersey Fleet, Newcastle 22, Coviti Silktails 14, New South Wales Cup first half, Manly Ringer 4, and Canterbury Bankstown 4, leading Manly 0. Queensland Cup second half, Dolphins 22, lead winner Manly 6. Sunny Coast 26, leading the Clydesdales 4 from the kick-off. Canberra returns at 14 out from their own line. Second half, Central Queensland 22, leading Mackay 6. Queensland Women's Rugby League, North Devils 22, leading South Logan 0. Play 2 for the Raiders, and they're 18 metres out from their own line at the northern end of the ground. The ball played to Owen Paddy. He sends it left to Jaden Brayley or Hudson Young over there in the distance. Young. He's tackled 30 out from his own goal line. Plays the ball now, centre field right to Corey Horsburgh. And Horsburgh right up the middle he goes. One of 3 defenders there. Played 11 short of halfway. Kick out a dummy half from Owen Paddy. Looking for a 40-20. It's a great kick and it skids straight off the Canberra Stadium turf and beats Clint Gutherson over the western touchline 10 metres out. Brilliant 40-20 from Owen Paddy. And Canberra with the momentum turning. Luke Lewis will get the ball 10 out from the Dragons goal line.
I'll tell you what, this is how good that kick was, is that Clint Gutherson actually had it covered. He knew he was going for it, but he just could not get there. As the ball was dropping, he would have had a catch on it before he would have slid out. When he hits the field, in the field of play, it backspins and goes straight out. Outstanding kick from Paddy.
Here's Adam Mariota now from the restart. Caught 4 metres out. 12-10 to to Canberra. Green Machine have the footy. They work it away to the right. Horsburgh to Sanders. Then to Kyo Weeks. It was not the perfect pass to Kyo when he lost his momentum in the run. Took the catch and he'll play it 8 metres out to Paddy. Goes left to Sanders. Then centre field Brayley. Links up with Ethan Strange with a left foot step and he's collected over the top by Kerr. 6 metres out from the Dragons goal line. Played to Paddy. He comes back to the right to Mariota in centre field. Ryan Couchman greeted him with Gula and Egan. 4 metres out from the line. Told to play it down Mariota and he does to Paddy. Spiralling past left Sanders. Got the ball away and the Raiders have lost it, but St George Illawarra's inside the 10. The knock-on came from Young, but the penalty is given now to Canberra. The Raiders first of the day and it's 3 metres out, 15 metres in from touching that far south-east corner. Tap's taken. Paddy sends the ball centre field right now for Canberra's Horsburgh and he's taken 9 metres out from the line right in front of the post. Plays it to Paddy. Short ball goes out the back right. Sanders turns it into Hosking. Hosking takes on the defence of Gould, Kerr and Gutherson and he's only a metre out from the goal line. Owen Paddy dummies, goes himself, burrows. He's into the in-goal area but held up and he'll go back and play it 10 metres out. 9 minutes 30 gone second half. Canberra 12, St George Illawarra 10 here at Canberra Stadium. So Paddy will go back 10 metres out and play the ball to Kyo Weeks. Comes to the left. Sanders away to Brayley. He dummies his way into the defence of Kerr and Ryan Couchman and Cook. Ends up on the deck 5 metres out from the goal line. Plays the ball. Paddy. Long ball goes right to Sanders. Takes on the defence, but they're there. Led by Hamish Stewart. 6 out from the line. Last tackle Canberra. Played to Paddy. He puts a little stab kick heading into the in-goal area. Horsburgh was flying through, but it's touched over the dead ball line. Egan was coming back there for St George Illawarra. Goal line dropout for the Dragons, who trailed 12-10 half an hour to go. Touchline, John Gibbs.
Yeah, nice little kick there by Alan Paddy, showing us all his tricks. That's his third 40-20. He nearly got one in the first half. And just an interesting footnote, no other Canberra player has got a 40-20. Alan Paddy has got 3 now, but Kyo Weeks has got a very rare 20-40.
Ooh. Here's a replacement. Corey Horsburgh comes off. Morgan Smithies on. Line drop out from Gutherson. He drills it to the Canberra, the 40-metre line, and Sanders just lets it bounce all the way past him, and Smithies goes back for it. 15 short of halfway. Great result for Gutherson and for the Dragons, and Smithies is smashed to the ground. 6 metres his own territory by Dylan Egan. Plays the ball now to Sanders. He sends it left away to Mariota. Joe Tarpany back for Canberra. Their 4th interchange. He replaces Jaden Brayley. 9 metres in Dragons territory. Comes to the right Sanders. Turns it into Hosking. He got a wrap around. One-hander away to Mariota. He's away from one across field. And Mariota's tackled. 10 metres in St George Illawarra's half. Canberra up 12 points to 10. 11 gone second half. Paddy sends it right to Tarpany. Joe Tarpany runs into 3 defenders. 31 metres out from the goal line. Played to Paddy. Sends it left to Sanders. Sanders a show and go. Got through one, but now he's caught 18 metres out from the goal line by Dylan Egan. Paddy goes short side left away to Sanders. Chip and chase coming through Hudson Young. Dragons players end up in each other's road. Hudson Young comes down with it. Held up in goal. And it'll be a changeover. Dragons survive. Canberra 12, St George Illawarra 10. 11 and a half gone in the second half, Luke Lewis.
I don't mind that little play there from Strange, looking for Hudson Young flying through. Gets the catch, but ends up getting it raked off him as he's going over the try line, which we are allowed. But big defensive set here for Canberra Raiders. They can just get their defence right, their line speed right. Don't give away a penalty. They'll get the ball back in good field position.
Toby Couchman about to return to the field for St George Illawarra. Have it set to 2 on his own 10-metre line. Played to Cook. Open side left to Gutherson. Good burrowing run. He's on his own 20. He is back on the field now, Toby Couchman. St George Illawarra. This time it's his brother Ryan. He scored 32 out from his own line. Good solid run. Plays it middle of the park to Cook. He sends the ball to the right side this time to Fienge. He's wrapped up 10 metres short of halfway. Plays the ball now. Cook goes right. Kick downfield by Atkinson on the last. Good distance on the kick. It's taken well, though, by Sebastian Chris, sprinting to his right on his 10-metre line. Heads over the 20, and a good, powerful run in centre field. Finally claimed 28 metres out from his own goal line. Plays the ball, and they work it right to Matt Timacor. Canberra with it, 32 out from their own line. 12-10 in favour of Canberra. 12 minutes 30 gone second half. Paddy dummy half. Short ball goes right to Simi Sasangi. He's collected about 7 metres short of halfway for Canberra. Paddy lays out the back left to Tarpany, and he's nailed 1 metre in St George Illawarra's half. Paddy goes left to Mariota over the 40-metre line, wrapped up 37 away from the St George Illawarra goal line, 20 in from the eastern touchline. Played on the last, a kick from Ethan Sanders. Sends it down to the south-east corner, and the wing of Setu too. He has the catch, confronted by Hosking. Great kick chase. 6 out from his own line. 12-10 to Canberra. We check in on the touchline with John Gibbs.
Well, that was a really good chase there by Canberra, and they've upped the ante. There's no doubt that the stern words of Ricky Stewart is still ringing in the Canberra players' ears. They've got to execute a little bit better than they have been, but they're looking okay.
So now it's the Dragons, Johnny, with it 13 metres short of halfway. Very dark conditions here at Canberra Stadium, even with the lights on. Here's a really good charge up the middle from Toby Couchman. Taken 4 metres in Canberra territory. Played on the last to Cook. Goes right. Atkinson with a kick. A little more rush this time. Down to the left wing of Sebastian Chris with the catch. 9 out from his own line, and he's looked very solid. Chris has caught 16 out from his own goal line. 12-10 Canberra. And the Raiders now with a set inside their 20. And very few mistakes in this second half, considering the conditions here and where these teams are situated on the table. Played to Wicks. Goes right to Savage. Xavier's caught. Now 35 out from his own line and 20 in from the western touchline. Plays the ball to Ethan Sanders. Goes open side left to Tarpany. Tarpany standing in the tackle. About 3 short of halfway. Ryan Couchman is in there with Cook. Now they work it right side, and the pass straight over the touchline from Wicks. It was either meant for Sasangi or Savage, and in the end it was closer to touch judge Phil Henderson. So St George Illawarra will get a play the ball 6 metres short of halfway. Louis, 12-10 to Canberra. 14 minutes 40 gone second half.
Going to throw it out there.
Yes.
Probably the ugliest pass I've ever seen.
No.
Yeah, I reckon. There was not one person near it.
Well, I think it could well be a finalist.
It'd be in the top 3.
It's on the podium, yeah, fair enough. As St George Illawarra make a change, coming onto the field now at last. Jacob Little, set restart for a rock infringement for St George Illawarra. Their first of the day as the Dragons work it to within 34 metres of the Canberra line. Played to Gutherson, goes right to left now, and Pacifica Tonga, he's scored 25 metres out. Plays the ball now to Jacob Little, comes to the right to Flanagan, turns it back inside to Atkinson, shrugged away from Sanders. He gets an inside ball away to Dylan Egan. This is a really good set for Dragons, and Egan tackled 16 out from the goal line. He plays the ball to Little, comes to the field left. Ryan Couchman got it away, Flanagan. Throws the cut out in the centre again. Xavier Savage says, yeah, you're right, Carl. X marks the spot. And Xavier races away to score the try. Was he onside? That's the only question. Referee Jaklasa Radansky, and I don't want to break the news to him or his wife Jackie, but he took about 10 extra minutes to match it with Xavier Savage. Slow as a wet week. Tries awarded. Canberra 16, St George Illawarra 10. Xavier Savage has a double if it's confirmed, Luke Lewis, and you have your doubts.
Oh, just watching, you know, when your reaction to what the referee's doing. Right as Savage took the ball, he sort of stops and then waits and then looks and communicates with the touch judge. I thought they were going to call it back, and he goes, oh, we'll let it go, and then we'll check it, I'm assuming. But, yeah, for me, it looked fine. But this is a very interesting play here. Oh, yeah, so I think it might go forward off Simi Sasangi, but you can't rule on a forward pass, so it's going to be a try.
Well, that won't be regarded as a pass.
That's why they'll communicate with each other. They'll go, oh, was that forward, was it not? And then they just went on with it.
But that won't be regarded as a pass from Sasangi. If it touched him, it went through his fingertips to Xavier Savage. Let's go down to you, John Gibbs, on the touchline.
Yeah, that'll be no try. That was touched there. All of the Dragons players stopped. They're all waving their arms. It was right in front of me. That was touched. And it's happened before, Andrew. I'll be stunned on this bleak day in Canberra if that's awarded.
So they're watching a number of replays. Let's have a look on our screen here.
You know what I find funny, though? If you can't rule on a forward pass, how can you say that went forward?
Well,
I just don't get it.
no, I agree with you, but that's forever been done. So,
It definitely comes off Canberra. Definitely.
yeah, he's touched that Sasangi and it's gone forward to Savage, surely.
But then I'll sit there and go with the rules. Oh, we can't rule on forward passes.
Yeah, but you can rule on that, so that's irrelevant. Because you can rule on a knock-on. And that's what that would have been deemed as. There's no passing motion.
Tries confirmed.
Try confirmed. John Gibbs, how are you down there on the sideline?
That is ridiculous. That is ridiculous.
But we can write it in. I agree with you all. In the 58th minute, a try to Xavier Savage. Has it ever felt more in the game that you're guessing every time that you decided?
It's getting worse, Andrew. It's getting worse.
So try to Savage. He has two exactly the same way, and that doesn't take away the fact that Kyle Flanagan keeps throwing passes straight to Xavier Savage. Why?
Oh, that was identical, but poor pass execution. Good being on the spot there for Savage.
Perfect tip on by Sasangi.
Tip on.
Out. Here's Sanders, 10 out right in front. 22 and a half to go. Canberra 16, St George, Illawarra 10. Here comes Sanders right in front and he kicks the goal. He's 3 out of 3 and it's now Canberra 18, St George, Illawarra 10. Still just over a quarter of the game to go, and next it's Newcastle and the West Tigers. That game at Hunters Stadium in Jersey Flegg. Newcastle leads the Silktails by 28 points to 14. New South Wales Cup, Canterbury Bankstown 16, leading Manly Warringah 0. Full time in the Queensland women's game, and North Devils have shut out South Logan by 28 points to 0. In the Queensland Cup, the Dolphins lead winner Manly 28-6. The Dolphins second on the table. Top of the table, Sunshine Coast thrashing the Western Clydesdales 36-4. And Central Queensland leading Mackay at the moment 34 points to 12. And AFL underway. North Melbourne 8 leading bottom of the ladder. Essendon 6 in the first quarter. So from the kick-off, it's Canberra with it, 11 metres out from their own goal line. Ball is back in centre field for the Raiders, who didn't look anything like the Green Machine in the opening, half hour or thereabouts, or most of the first half, and here they are now with an 8-point lead, 24 out from their own goal line. The ball played by Smithies, and it comes centre field left. Another strong run by Tarpany up the middle, stands in the tackle of Pacifica Tonga, 12 short of halfway. Paddy, who's been great in the second half, dashes from dummy half, gets to within a metre of halfway before he's put to the ground and plays it on the last tackle. De Weeks goes right to Sanders and a left foot kick. Up in the air, good hang time. Gutherson down on one knee with the catch. Returns it over the 20, caught 22 out from his own goal line. 18 minutes 30 gone in the half. Canberra 18, St George Illawarra 10. Now Tyrell Sloan looking for work. He's held, stood in the tackle, 29 out from his own goal line as he looks to his left and sees Luciano Leilua come onto the field for the first time for St George Illawarra. 15 metres short of halfway, the Dragons. What impact can Leilua have? Dylan Egan at first receiver. He's caught 8 metres short of halfway. Plays the ball to Little. Comes right to left, through hands away to Luciano. He's wrapped up 2 short of halfway. He replaced Ryan Couchman. Plays the ball now to Little. Comes to the right side. Atkinson with a kick. Spiralling kick into the clouds. Kyo Weeks, good catch. Facing the western touchline. Then goes on the big full circle turn over the 10-metre line. And he's going to be taken. 17 out from his goal line. Wouldn't be easy under the kicks in any situation here, Louis, as the Raiders work it right to Tim McCoy. He scored 24 out from his own line.
No, there's definitely a little bit of a breeze down there. You got the little bit of rain. And the ball's sort of floating around. It looks a bit slippery, dull. The light's not that crash hot, so they're doing a good job at fullback.
Apart from that, awesome conditions. Here's Canberra, 10 metres short of halfway, and then poor old Jonty underneath his brolly. Played to Paddy, goes right to Hosking, runs into Pacifica Tonga and Leilua. 2 metres in St George Illawarra territory. Last tackle Canberra. It comes right to Sanders. Another left foot kick, a midfield bomb. Gutherson against Sasangi. Gutherson the catch. Sasangi the tackle. 19 out now for the Dragons line. 20 minutes gone. 20 minutes left, second half. Canberra 18, St George Illawarra 10 is now Val Holmes for St George Illawarra. Caught 26 out from his own line. Let's check in with that man. John Gibbs on the touchline.
Well, the problem for the Dragons when they fall behind, they do struggle to score points. They're giving the ball a little bit of width here. Ooh, almost getting through Fangay. But they need to take some chances. And when you take chances in these conditions, invariably you come up with errors.
8 short of halfway now, the Dragons. As the ball is played by Egan. Comes left, through hands, away. Taking on the defensive line on that occasion. The St George Illawarra tackled right on halfway was Flanagan. On the last, it's Atkinson. Kicks from 48 metres out. And it's a shot. Oh, Gibbsy, look out! I thought you were going to be collected, Johnny. You're all arms and legs and umbrellas and microphones. Are you all right down there? Jonty. Oh, no, he can't hear us. The headphones went to fly. Canberra will get the play the ball 1 metre short of halfway. More calling Orson. Are you all right, Johnny?
Oh, I'm all right. I thought I was going to be falconed, and then I took evasive action and the headsets went flying.
You know what the beauty of that was? Seeing the teamwork down there. Ralph Tucker just went straight into action, preparing everything for John Gibbs so he could talk to us again. Well done, Ralphie. Here's a lost ball by Canberra, and referee Chiclasa and Anthony's on it, ruling a knock on. St George Illawarra will get a scrum feed 8 short of halfway. 18 and a half to go. Anything could still happen here. Canberra 18, St George Illawarra 10.
1,000% there's going to be a whole heap happening in the last 18 minutes. Wouldn't surprise me, Andrew, if they went try, penalty, or 2-point field goal, we go to extra time. Because that's the way the game is going at the moment. But kicked out in the full, that was a horrible kick. Play one, Canberra Raiders have a really good opportunity to sort of put some more points on or put some pressure on. They come up with an error on play one.
So now St George Illawarra get a penalty.
Ethan, eye contact. Not quick, fair play.
Ethan Sanders penalised for going high on Val Holmes. Penalty Dragons. Penalties of 4-1 to St George Illawarra. 18 in from the western touchline, and Atkinson drop punts it this time well over John Gibbs' head. 25 out from the Canberra line. Gibbsy remains intact.
Wish he caught it, Gibbsy. It would have been great.
If he had caught that with umbrellas, programs, microphones and headphones flying everywhere, it would have beaten Paul Vorton's classic catch all those years ago. Here's the Dragons 21 out. Played to Little. Goes right. Gutherson now. Got the pass away to Fingay. And Fingay accelerates. Cut down 11 out from the line. And 5 metres in from touch in that northeast corner. It's so dark you can barely see them over there. Egan gets a pass. Through hands they go. And the tackle made 10 metres out from the goal line. Canberra's defence being tested here. Canberra do lead 18-10. Rolling to his feet and playing the ball Stewart. It comes left to Toby Couchman. Right up the middle he goes. He's close. He's put to the ground only a metre out from the line. Dummy half now is Little. Right between the uprights. Little fires it back left. Through hands they go. Flanagan, Leilua, Gutherson. Pass knocked down by Savage again. But this time it is ruled a knock on. And St George Illawarra will get another set with a scrum feed 11 metres out from the Canberra line. It is 18-10 to the Raiders. 18 and a half to go. They desperately want Xavier Savage to score a third.
I thought he was going to get that again then.
I know.
Put himself right in the right position, and Gutherson couldn't help himself but had to pass it, couldn't hold it in. He's still down, Gutherson. He's heard he's twisted his knee or something down there at the moment, but that was flirting with danger.
You're right down there, Jonty, after you're near hit by the ball?
No, I'm fine, and he's limping back into the scrum. Clint Gutherson was hit by and twisted by Simi Sasangi.
Here's the scrum fed and won by the Dragons. Flanagan, he sends it to the right edge this time as the Dragons are 9 metres away, down 18 points to 10. Tackle made on Toby Couchman, and then there was an unnecessary push on him from Hudson Young, so a set restart to the Dragons. Ball goes backwards, picked up by Gutherson, fires a pass back towards Atkinson. He's over the 20, short ball right to Dylan Egan, and Dylan Egan, his leg drive takes him to within 9 metres of the goal line. Plays the ball at the northern end. Little goes left. Pacifica Tonga got straight through Mariota. Now taken 1 metre out from the goal line. Plays the ball. And Little goes left. Through hands away to Leilua. The defence comes across for Canberra. 3 metres out from the line. It's played now for the Dragons. Centre field right to Flanagan. Then away to Hamish Stewart. He got the pass on as well, but Couchman's held up 4 metres away. 18-10 in favour of Canberra. 15 minutes to go. Little sends the ball right. Flanagan to Atkinson. Then Finger is drilled to the deck. 12 metres out from the line. Terrific head-on tackle by Timacor. Now comes left to Atkinson. Back to the short side. Little stab kicks a shocker. And diving on the bouncing ball is Tom Starling on the field for Canberra. 2 out, 2 in. Norris corner plays it. And Seb Chris is now taken 5 out from the Canberra line. Crisis averted for now. 14 and a half to go for the Raiders, who lead 18-10.
So weird. The Dragons, they go to the right edge. They've got 4 attacking players on 5 defenders. I don't really understand what they're doing it for. They should have come to the other side where they had the numbers. And they just make it, I don't know if they're looking up or they're playing the numbers right, but they're getting it all wrong at the moment.
Here's Sungy now for Canberra. Threatened to break free. Dragged to the ground desperately there by Holmes on the Canberra 30. Played on the last 2 weeks. Goes left Sanders. And it's a very shallow but high kick. Coming down 30 out from the goal line. Taken beautifully there by Setu 2. 25 out from his own line. Back over the 30 past Timacor. And now put to the ground 15 metres short of halfway. 18-10 in favour of Canberra. 14 minutes to go here at Canberra Stadium. Hope you're enjoying the action on ABC Sport. NRL Sunday, as now it is Val Holmes hitting it up. He's been very quiet. Caught here 4 short of halfway. 20 in from the western touchline there by Tarpany. Played a little. Goes right through hand. Stewart, Flanagan, Egan. Egan drops the ball. Then put on the toe here by St George Illawarra by Gutherson. Ruled a knock on. And it'll come back to be a Canberra scrum feed on halfway. 13 and a half left. Canberra 18, St George Illawarra 10.
He was going to let it go there, Ziggy, but it was definitely a knock on. Nice tackle there by Strange. And I think it was over the top was Smithies who gets a really good shot on him. But again, Canberra, the Dragons just pushing the ball now because they're looking at the screen. They know they've got 8 points to score. Only 13 minutes left on the clock. And the Canberra Raiders, well, they can't shut up shop here. They can't think 8 points is enough just to beat them because the way that this game's been going, you don't really know.
How would you? Canberra wins the scrum and it comes to the right side. There's a Sungy. He beats one. He's caught now 10 metres inside St George Illawarra territory. Plays the balls to Starling. He sends it left to Smithies. Morgan Smithies is captured. 33 out from the line. It is not me, is it, Lou? It's dark. Even though the lights are at full bore.
It is very dark.
Comes to the right now to Tarpany. And what's the time here? 3:33. It's like it's up our 7. 24 out from the goal line. Canberra, this 18-10 lead. Tarpany plays the ball to Starling. Goes right Weeks. Turns it into the second rower Hosking. He's caught 18 out from the St George Illawarra line. Plays the ball to Starling. Goes on a jigging run. And inside pass finds Kyo Weeks. He beats one. He went backwards. Now he goes forward. Now he goes sideways. And Kyo Weeks. That great leg drive. I tell you what, his head's on the goal line, but not the footy. He'll play it a foot out. Does so to Starling on the last. It comes left away to Sanders. Sanders runs up the line, offloads it to Strange. Strange keeps drifting to the left, back to the right. Got a pass back to Hudson Young. Hudson Young puts it on the toe, but straight down to Gutherson. He fields it, and then he's collected 8 metres out from his own goal line. 11 minutes, 40 to play. Canberra 18, St George Illawarra 10. But the lack of polish, really from both teams here, is rather palpable as the Dragons now in play 2. 12 out from their own goal line. Ball played and it comes centre field left. Played by Feing, now Setu 2. He's tackled 19 now from his own line. 18-10 in favour of Canberra. Comes to the left edge this time for the Dragons. About 28 out from their own line through Toby Couchman. One-handed pick up by Little. He takes on from dummy half. Good run of about 10 metres before he's felled 8 short of halfway. Last tackle, Gutherson. Goes right, Atkinson puts in a shonky old kick. Bounces on the Canberra 30, but straight to Sebastian Chris. He takes it on his 20-metre line. Then he goes on a stepping run right up the middle, threatened to break free. But caught in a high, but fair tackle from Toby Couchman. 34 out from his own line, 11 left. 18-10 to Canberra, who work it right to Xavier Savage. And he's wrapped up 10 short of halfway. Let's check in downstairs, Johnny Gibbs.
Now, I'll tell you who he's got the ball right now. Simi Sasungi, he's shown, some good touches this afternoon. Hasn't played since round 9. That game against Penrith when he did his shoulder. But he's shown some good touches. And Canberra are going all right. But the Dragons, they're still in for the fight. There's an offload, a stop, and one lucky one to get away with it.
So now it is the Raiders. 12 metres in St George Illawarra territory. Tarpany plays it. Starling goes right to Sanders, and he's scored 25 out from the line. Last play, Canberra lead 18-10. Starling, blindside right to Kyo Weeks, takes on the defence, then send the ball back to Starling, keeps it alive to Sanders. I think he tried to throw the pass to Clarkson or Adamski, but instead it ends up with the Dragons 11 out from their own line. Remains 18-10 to Canberra. Louis, 10 minutes to go.
And we got Strange in the background there. Claiming that it got touched, but there was some nice football down that short edge. Weeks starting to insert himself down those short edges. He's looking dangerous with the ball in hand, and you can see the fatigue starting to set into the Dragons now, just at the back end of this half. With 9.5 minutes left on the clock, can they hang in there?
So now just short of the 30-metre line. It comes left to Toby Couchman, and he is on his back, 11 metres short of halfway. He'll play the footy. Now they work it from right to left. Flanagan through hands. It ends up with Val Holmes through a gap. He's over the 40. He's got Sloan with him. Bye-bye. Val Holmes links up with Tyrell Sloan, and he dives over to score his second try of the day. The Dragons are right in this. 9 minutes to go. Canberra 18, St George Illawarra 14. A rare break by Valentine Holmes leads to a try for Tyrell Sloan.
Well, so we said, can the Dragons hang in there? And they do. And they come up with a nice play here. The Dragons, they finally get the execution right over on the left edge. And Val Holmes, the man who's the recipient of the ball, as he gets through the defence there of the Canberra Raiders. But it was a really nice pass from Gufferson. Then it was just a simple little left foot step there from Valentine Holmes. Gets the Canberra Raiders inside shoulder. Then you got the speed men in Sloan just pushing up. A simple little draw and pass and get him right back into this game. Then he kicked the goal though.
Well, that's a good question. It's right in the mid-range for him nowadays. 22 out, 15 in from touchline, John Gibb.
Well, that all came about because of some sloppy work up the other end when Canberra just threw the ball on the ground, looked dangerous, but threw the ball on the ground. As a result, St George Illawarra got good field position, good work there by Val Holmes. By the way, Val Holmes has scored a try in every game he's played here at Canberra Stadium. That's in 6 games. He's scored in every one. He's got 7 in total. So I'd like him to score because he would break a record or equal a record held by Noah Andruku.
Yes, there's a great name for Canberra fans. 8 minutes to go. Here's Val. He strikes it with the right boot. Likes it. Kicks the goal. He's 2 out of 3. 18-16. Canberra leads St George Illawarra. 3 tries apiece. But Louis, these are the games the Dragons lose. There's 7 minutes 43 to go. NRL Sunday on ABC Sport with Luke Lewis, John Gibbs. I'm Andrew Moore. Around the grounds, full time in the Jersey flag.
Who are you backing in?
Sorry?
Who are you backing in?
Canberra. But with zero confidence, none.
No confidence, yeah.
And you?
Yeah, I'm the same, but I'm not confident.
28-14, Newcastle has beaten the Silktails in Jersey flag. New South Wales Cup, Canterbury 28, leading Manly 0. Queensland Cup now full-time, and the Dolphins have beaten winner Manly 34-10. Sunshine Coast 42 have beaten the Western Clydesdales 8. Central Queensland 44, leading Mackay 12. No score, South Logan and North Devils. AFL, Essendon in front of North Melbourne 14-11 in the first quarter. As now the Dragons spread it left on play 2. Luciano Leilua threatens to break the defensive line, but tackled 29 out from his own goal line. It's 18-16 to Canberra. 7 minutes 15 to go as the Dragons work at short side left. Val Holmes tackled there by Sasangi, 11 short of halfway. Now comes open side right to Toby Couchman. He's floored, 4 short of halfway. 20 in from the western touchline. Blindside raid they go to Flanagan. Then he turns inside, got the pass off the ground a little, 42 out. He sends it away open side right to Hamish Stewart. Got the pass back to Little, and Jacob Little stands in the tackle. 34 out from the Canberra line. Played on the last, Gutherson goes right to Atkinson. A towering kick to the wing of Chris. Coming through is Sedu 2 off Chris. Great catch. 8 metres out from the Canberra goal line. Saves the day at least for now. Raiders 18, Dragons 16. 6.5 to go. Remembering that way back in the first half, in the 33rd minute, Savelio Tamale was hoisted from the field by Ricky Stewart for bad play. He was being totally outgunned by Sedu 2, couldn't catch a cold and got replaced, and Seth Chris has not missed a beat since. Canberra now 15 short of halfway. Chris plays it, and Canberra working their way to within 8 metres of halfway. Who can ice this game? Hudson Young plays it. Weeks goes right to Sanders. Left foot kick, very shallow again. Underneath. Oh, Sloan! What are you doing? Straight into his comic cuts and he dropped it. Out it went. And it's going to be a Canberra scrum feed. 21 out from the St George Illawarra line. It was straight to him, but you know what, Louis? He didn't watch the ball, and it's going to get you every time. 5.5 to play. Canberra 18, St George Illawarra 16.
Watching the replay, I don't even know how he dropped that. It's just he had himself in the perfect position. He didn't have to move. He had his hands up. He had his elbows in, and it just sort of, as it turned and went into his little, his arms there, the ball sort of slipped and then went out the other end. And it was like, oh, what's he doing?
Wasn't looking, as Matt Elliott would describe it, the white oblong. From the scrum win, Sasangi goes right, knocked down by Sloan. Picked up by Starling. Starling beats two. He's going to score for Canberra. Sloan on the deck. Holmes on the deck. Try to the Raiders. 4 minutes 55 to go. And they make the Dragons pay a massive price for that inexplicable drop from Tyrell Sloan. Canberra 22. St George Illawarra 16. Kick to come Raiders, probably to win it. Try to Tom Starling, Luke Lewis.
Yeah, nice try here, but it was off the scrum. It was a nice little play, and I reckon Savage was going over. And then Sloan knocks the ball down to stop a try. And then you got Starling, just a man on the spot, picks the ball up off the ground and comes up with some really nice footwork. You got a left foot step, beats two players. You got Luciano Leilua hedging his bets on where he's going to go. He goes back out, doesn't go to the ball carrier. And Tommy Starling couldn't believe his luck there. He is going over as easy as you like and scoring a try and almost sealing the deal here.
Well, instead of stopping the try, he delayed the try. Touchline, John Gibbs.
Yeah, well, they're going to get out of this, Canberra. They're going to keep their slim hopes alive. And as I said previously, Ricky sure loved that one.
What about the belt he put on his assistant there?
He nearly knocked him over. I've got to say that I reckon they can drop possibly two, depending on how things go, maybe only one before the end of the season. But this does keep them alive. They're on life support, but that was a double try assist there by Tyrell Sloan. The drop, he had a bit of a boat feet with the defence coming. That's why he lost the ball and then knocked it down. It was a shocker, really. I don't know. It was inexplicable.
So here's Ethan Sanders, Louis watching it intently. 19 out, 15 in from the Western touchline.
What a rated him.
4 minutes to go. He strikes it, Sanders likes it, kicks the goal. He's 4 out of 4. Canberra 24, St George Illawarra 16. Clock is stopped with 3 minutes 47 to go. Don't forget, next it's Newcastle and the West Tigers at Hunter Stadium. But here, Canberra look like now they have 2 points in the bag, leading 24 to 16, although we'll see what happens with a short kick-off here from Clint Gutherson. And currently 4 tries to 3 to the Raiders. And you can talk about Canberra, they can't drop more than 1 or 2. They don't look anything like a finals team at the moment. Here's the short kick-off, knocked back by Sloan. Oh dear, he's having a minute or so, isn't he? He knocks it straight over the touchline. So it will be a Canberra play the ball 11 short of halfway. Been going well, Tyrell Sloan. Drop ball, interfered with the pass, knocked it down. Thought he was doing the right thing, and I'm sure he was. But Canberra pick it up and score anyway through Starling, and now he knocks the ball straight over the touchline from the short kick-off.
He just gets unlucky on that one.
Yeah.
The ball back, but yeah, the drop ball, that kick-off, from the kick from Canberra, that would have crawled him, I reckon. He'd be filthy on himself.
So now Canberra has it on halfway. Tackle comes in here and is made by Luciano Leilua. About 12 metres in Dragons territory. The Raiders up 24 to 16. 3 minutes to go. Play to Starling. Short ball right to Hosking. Great run over the 30. Taken by Leilua. Only 22 out from the goal line. Starling a dummy half. Blindside right to Sanders. Right foot step from Ethan into the defensive Gutherson. Is trying for a one-on-one steal. Can't get it. 5 metres out from the goal line. Still a few tackles left for Canberra. Starling goes left to Hosking. And Zach is only 2 metres away. Last tackle it is right now, actually. Starling a dummy half. He goes blindside right to Sasangi, looking for a barge over, happy with a handover. 1 metre out from the line. Dragons with the footy. 2.5 to go. Canberra 24, St George Illawarra 16. It's going to be another heartbreaking day for you Dragons fans as Holmes is caught 9 metres out from the St George Illawarra line. Played to Jacob Little, centre field right, Pacifica Tonga. He's caught 17 now from his own line. After the game, Gibbs will be out there in the middle of the field. Not raining at the moment. Pretty cool. But Canberra's going to get the win, you would think. Now the Dragons have it 11 short of halfway with 2 minutes to go. Little a dummy half. He sent it centre field right to Atkinson. Kick over the top. I thought Egan was offside. Not Sedu too though. He's got the catch. Then pops a moon ball over the eastern touchline right in front of the Gregan Larkin stand. That'll do. Game, set, bingo. Canberra is going to win. They lead 24-16. A minute 45 to go. Touchline, Johnny Gibbs.
Yeah, they're going to win this one. And I just Corey Horsburgh, he doesn't look real good. He's looking to the sideline. You know that this is an interesting one. Poor old Luciano Leilua. He has lost 16 consecutive games now because you've given the game set bingo. He missed the win against Brisbane. 16 consecutive.
Yeah, that's a lot of sad weekend nights, isn't it?
It is indeed.
Here's Adam Mariotta for Canberra. He's having a good run up the middle, taken 4 metres in Dragons territory, had the ball stolen from him, but after the referee called held, according to Ziggy.
Challenge, of course.
Penalty given to Canberra, but a challenge with a minute 15 to go.
Strip off the hill, Dragons are challenging.
I'm surprised he can even speak with that big thick moustache. His big nymph.
How good is it?
Well, again, talking to you don't really appreciate it on telly or from here, but talking to him at the back of the box before, it was you could have grown some life in there. It is so big and thick. Anyway,
Tell us about his tackle. The ball is not lost and it's stripped by the Dragons. Post the held call. The challenge is unsuccessful.
Post the held call. That's the key to it. So an unsuccessful challenge from the Dragons.
I'll just line up the two.
It is a penalty to Canberra. 4 metres in Dragons territory with a minute 15 to go. You line up a kick.
I line up a kick and take a minute 15.
Or take the tap and give it to Horsburgh. Here's a little ad hoc Viking clap from the Canberra fans here. Love it. You can tell I don't get out much. Now needs a theme song. Here's Canberra, 29 metres out, 52 seconds to go. Ball played short side run left to Hudson Young. He's taken 19 out from the Dragons line, 20 in from the eastern touch line. Plays the ball to Starling, goes blindside left again to Timicor. He's been really good out there and he's taken 12 metres out from the Dragons line. 34 seconds to go, 24 points to 16 to Canberra. Starling a dummy half, very slow, tedious play the ball. Starling, short side left to Ethan Strange. Was very active in the first half, a little quieter in the second, and tackled on the last 5 out from the line. Changeover, and the Dragons get the footy back with only 18 seconds to go, and Canberra fans can celebrate what's become a rare win in 2026 very, very soon. Dragons deep in their own territory. Their resolve is gone. A little chip over the top by Gutherson. Fielded by Starling. He sends the pass immediately right to Simi Sasangi. Sangi charges there into Holmes and Leilua held up. Siren sounds. Whistle blows. Canberra Raiders win. It wasn't always pretty. It certainly wasn't perfect. But it'll be a relief for those in green. They deserve to celebrate here.
The green machine. We hit them hard, so they see green. We're big and strong, we're fast and lean. That's why we're called the green machine. We're the bad and mean green machine. Feel some men from the ACT. Don't try and stop these men in green. Cause we'll hit ya, and you'll see green.
For Canberra, 24 points, tries to Hudson Young in the 20th minute. Xavier Savage, couple of intercepts, long distance, 46th and 58th minutes. Tom Starling in the 75th minute. Ethan Sanders, 4 goals from 4 attempts, 2 restarts. For St George Illawarra, 16 points. Tyrell Sloan a try in the 9th minute. Setu 2 in the 31st. Sloan again in the 71st minute. Val Holmes 2 from 3. 2 restarts, 1 unsuccessful challenge. 4-2 the penalty count in favour of St George Illawarra. At halftime, it was 10-6 to the Dragons. Full-time, Canberra 24-16 winners over the Dragons. I don't yet have a crowd figure. We reckon 13,000, somewhere in that vicinity here at Canberra Stadium.
It was 12,500 and something.
Was it? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'll get confirmation of that very shortly. In the meantime, we can head down to John Gibbs with two-try scorer Xavier Savage. Johnny.
Yeah, well, as you called it, Andrew, ex-master spot, and Xavier scored a couple of long-range tries. He just was waiting for them, and they were needed. I've got to say, Xavier, well done, but you're banged up. You've had a tough game.
Yeah, it's a couple of niggles this year, but I'm pushing through. Hopefully go on a good run here with the boys now, and hopefully just squeeze into that top 8, and that's our goal. We'll just take it week by week now.
Well, you've got a couple of buys to come, which is always an advantage. Some teams have had 3 buys. You got 2 buys, you've got 8 games. You can drop possibly a maximum of 2 games. So you're under the pump, but a win like this is very important.
Yeah, we definitely need this, just to put some belief back into the squad. Not that we didn't have it, we know what we're capable of, but just to build that confidence, going into next week now, and we'll work hard throughout the early next week and prepare well. Yeah.
Now 10-6 down at half time, and it had been a pretty ordinary display. That's the only way to put it. How was Ricky at half time?
Yeah, it was just talking about just fixing up our mistakes. That's probably let us down throughout the year so far, and it's something we need to work on, just ball possession and finishing with good field position, and that's what we look to do for the second half, and I think we achieved that pretty well, and kept the foot on the throat towards the end of the game. Yeah.
Well, you owed your home crowd. It's a bleak afternoon here. You owed them one because there's been quite a few losses in a row here at home.
Yeah, that's it. We don't like letting our fans down. They come out here in the freezing cold and the wet weather too as well. So it's good that we got a pretty decent turnout regardless of how we're going. So that one was for the fans definitely.
Now I know how empathetic you are, Xavier. Just a word on Savelio. He was having a tough time. Really, I think Ricky, he's done the right thing for Savelio and also the team. But that's tough, isn't it?
Yeah, I've definitely I definitely know how he feels at the moment. I've had my fair share of going through that at a young age, and it just comes with age and time, and getting more games under his belt and building that confidence up. And I'm sure there's nothing personal towards Savelio. It's just helping him out as a young kid that's still got a bright future ahead of him. So we're all there for him, and we know that he can do the job.
Well said. Thanks for joining ABC Sport. Well done, Xavier.
Thanks, mate.
Yeah, nice from Xavier Savage. So Canberra wins 24 points to 16. You're with Luke Lewis, John Gibbs. I'm Andrew Moore, and Louis, if you just turn around to the back of the box, and our tragic Canberra Raiders fanatic Dennis Carnahan and his Raiders beanie with the 2 horns coming out the back. And you're right. So we'll get back down to Gibbsy very shortly. 24-16 Canberra. Also we'll get the ABC Player of the Year points from Luke Lewis. And we're about 6 or 7 minutes away from heading to Brett Sprigg, Dean Hallertau and Bridget Murphy at Hunter Stadium for the final game in round 17. Newcastle against the West Tigers. A reminder that tonight the New South Wales team will be named for State of Origin 3 at Lang Park on Wednesday week, and the Queensland team will be named at 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. So that's all still to come. Handshakes all around down there on the field. I think it's Hudson Young down there with you, Jonty.
Yeah, it is Hudson Young who gave another wholehearted display. Not the flashes Hudson from the team, but it keeps you in the hunt. I know you're treading the tightrope, but 2 buys, 8 more games, you still got a chance.
Yeah, we do, mate. We spoke about that all week. We probably had to look at it ourselves individually, where we can help each other. I thought throughout the year we've probably let too many soft tries in, not on the back of teams falling us apart, just on the back of that will to fight and save on our line. And I thought we did a great job of building that resilience tonight.
Yeah, and it was a sloppy first half. I know Ricky was really disappointed with mistakes. A mistimed pass, Tyrell Sloan runs the length, and you're behind at half time. You're sort of chasing your tail. It's a lack of confidence in some respects.
Yeah, you can look at it that way as well, but the 2 tries they scored, like you said, was a missed pass and then off a kick. So you can look at the positives there. We defended our try line really well, and we knew, like you said, if we come out in the second half completed, got through our sets, like you see, mate, we got strike all over the park, and we need to lean into that.
In the last couple of games, Ethan Strange has been moved back onto the left side with you, with Matthew Timmercore. How are you finding that?
Yeah, I love it, mate. I love playing next to Strangey. He's my good mate off the field, and anytime I get to play with him, I relish in that. And I think he's strong position is the left side, 5'8", and you can just see how much confidence he's got coming back to this side.
Well, for the New South Wales side, some players will be a little bit anxious. You've been great, so I'm sure you'll be there. Ethan most likely with you. You get a chance, albeit it's been pretty good in the first two games, you get a chance to turn it around. I mean, all of the dialogue, one game, you boys can be heroes, and you've got to be aware of that.
Yeah, that's what it comes down to, mate. 80 minutes of footy in Suncorp. Fingers crossed I'll get picked in the team tonight, and hopefully next to Ethan, because, as a kid you dream about these moments, and the opportunity now is right in front of us to go up there, whichever players he picks. It doesn't matter. We've got a job to do for our state, for the jersey, and for the players that have come before us.
And the good news is, both you and Ethan look like you're fully fit. No drama out of today's game.
Brand new, mate. Brand new.
See you, Hudson.
Cheers, mate. Thank you.
That's brilliant. Hudson Young with John Gibbs. Good job, Johnny. I'll try and get a final thought from you in a moment. On the text line, Marie said, just discovered I was cheering for the Dragons. No idea why. Liam was in Bay 12 listening, enjoying the call, but man, it's dark here. Yeah, it sure did get dark. Can I request a Johnny sideline interview with Sebastian Chris? He's really articulate and clever bloke. Great call, lads. Best in the business. Thank you, Ed. We've run out of time for that, unfortunately, Ed. Boys loving the call, but curious. Johnny Gibbs, 70 years old plus. Luke Lewis, 42. Jonty headbutting balls on the sideline and braving the elements. Luke complaining about an open window in the comm box. Unbelievable. All right, Louis, let's make it more believable with your ABC Player of the Year points.
Well, I wasn't. It was actually quite nice. It was very hot in here, in this room. But anyway, ABC points.
It's not now.
It's not now, but it was very hot in here. 3 points. I went to Joey Tarpany. I thought he was brilliant. I thought he was just really good leadership, and he was trying everything. He was pushing up everywhere. There was breaks made. He was there, so he gets my 3. Ethan Strange too. I thought he was brilliant in the first half. Didn't do a heap in the second half, but he did enough to get points with what he did in the first. And then I went Hudson Young for 1. I thought he did a really good job as well. Very hard to pick today.
Yes, okay. Joe Tarpany, 3. Ethan Strange, 2. Hudson Young, 1. Gibbsy, final thoughts from you. We're off to Hunter Stadium in 2 minutes' time. Canberra winning. It was anything but convincing, but I guess when you're down in the dumps, any win will do, right?
Absolutely. As we've been saying, and talking to the players, they know they're on life support, but they got a good little block coming up. Well, they get a chance to freshen up. They got a bye, and then they got the Bulldogs. What about that game? Canberra and the Bulldogs after the bye. That's in a couple of games' time. But obviously, you got state of origin and all of those things. That may have injuries or all sorts of things happen. But I'm not completely writing Canberra off yet. I know there's one of these sides, one of the Melbournes, but all of the sides that have missed from last year, the top 4. I reckon one of them is going to do something miraculous. Which one it is, I'm not quite sure though.
Yeah, you can get on with me. Johnny, I'll see you Thursday night.
How much? See ya.
10 cents. Thursday night, for the kickoff of the NRLW season. We'll be there at Shark Park. Myself, John Gibbs and Karina Brown. All right, 24-16. Canberra beats St George Illawarra. Currently New South Wales Cup. Canterbury Bankstown 34. Leads Manly Warringah 0. Full-time Queensland Cup. Boys, Central Queensland ended up thrashing Mackay. Final score there 51-12. In the Queensland Cup as well, first half. South Logan 12. Lead North Devils 8. AFL second quarter, North Melbourne 25, Essendon 14. Spriggy will keep you up to date from here. Louis, job well done, mate. Catch you on Friday night.
I'll see you Friday. Thank you.
Look forward to it. Thank you, Louis. Thank you, Jonty. Thank you to our producer, Ralph Tucker. To our very, very happy. Do you know what? When Dennis Carnahan becomes annoying? When Canberra wins. And he puts on his Canberra beanie and he plays with his Canberra belt buckle and he gets way too excited. He giggles like he's a Michael Arianis impersonator. Thank you to Renelle Moa in the studio. I'm Andrew Moore. Please join us for NRL Monday tomorrow night from 6:30. Guest host Ruan Sims. Guest host Ruan Sims, who's with you, Brett Sprigg, right now.
And how fitting that Beanie for Brain Cancer round ends here in Mark Hughes' hometown of Newcastle. And the man himself, of course, is down here as well. I know that the Big 3 trek is a big part of that. The walk from Sydney to Hunter Stadium, that'll be a nice reception for the trekkers as part of the fundraising effort. Last time these teams met in round 6, it was a 12-try, 64